Oh boy.
Two
Oh
minutes of
boy,
pre-show.
2 minutes of pre-show. Yeah, I complete all or cut all the pre-show last week. Like A, it took forever to do, and B, it was 99.9% nothing but Destiny talk, and it's like, oh my gosh, it was pure, unfiltered, tainted
Yeah.
Destiny. This Destiny, I was like, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We
I'm in.
recapped it.
I'm in.
If we think about it, I am pretty much the Taken King. I have taken your
Yes.
wills and converted you over.
He has.
Yeah,
I'm
you
there
did.
now. I'm
I'm
in.
covered in shadow. Yeah.
I'm doing the grind. Like I'm there.
And so in terms of Twitch specifically, I'm at 2.97 average viewer count.
Fucking hell.
Oh, why don't they just
It's
drop
either-
up at that point?
It's either you give me the full 3, or you'd be like, oh, 2.9. Why'd you give me the 2.97?
That's 7. That's just bullshit. That's not fair.
Repeating.
So
of course.
I should hit that in the next 2 or 3 streams.
Yeah, well we can make that easy for
Yeah.
sure.
You can do it.
Yay.
I believe in
Gambate.
I'm mad at my best friend because he hit like instant popularity, and I thought I was like, I'm gonna have to help him. I'm gonna help carrying him, and all of a sudden I was like, the fuck, he's doing okay by himself. What the hell is this? Like,
What was he at?
well, within 10 minutes of his first stream, he was at I think 8 viewers,
Whew.
with myself included, mind you, but
Yeah,
still. And
What's he streaming?
Yeah.
he's streaming GameCube Wind Waker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the GameCube version, not the
It's the
HD
Wind-
version.
it's
It doesn't
Wind-
matter. Retro
It's-
games do fantastic.
They do. I mean, not the ones I was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's why I was like, because I was like, retro games don't do well at all in terms of what I've seen. But then again, the retro games I was streaming back then were things that didn't even have listings. So
Pretty much. That's why.
Yeah.
So if you play a retro game that people know and love,
yeah,
nostalgia kicks in so hard, people will just stop by and be like, yeah, I
Jeez.
remember that.
So
Jeez.
apparently, what happened was 2 people, 2 guys from Great Britain, hit random, started searching for a random streamer, found him, at a majestic like 3 views, talked to him. He responded. They were so giddy, they started pulling just completely other, connections that they know, and all of a sudden, a bunch of British people just swooped in.
That's
no.
fantastic.
yeah, that's good though.
And it just freaked him the fuck out. And he had no idea what was going on. He's like, Tyler, these are your friends, right? You're just messing with me? Like, nope. Spank Daddy 800 from Great Britain. Nope. I do not know this person. And they are, I was getting upset. I was like, fuck am I here for then? Why am I supporting? You're fun just by yourself. 8 views. Huh?
All right, so I should probably close these Splatoon tabs. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, that might be.
I mean,
helpful.
you
Or
don't
the
have
opposite
to,
of
but-
helpful, but
You got it recorded live that you'd be looking at it if you kept it up. But,
See,
you
this
wanna
is
say
how
that
this is
allegedly.
how I enforce accountability.
force count.
there you go. There you go.
Yes. Let's see. And we should have started already, but the bottom of my vape rig just completely fell out.
Oof.
Oof.
He's fixing. It's a fixer upper.
It's funny because before I used, and I still do, I use a, what do you call these things? Zip ties to
Mhm.
hold it in place. But that was when it was missing 2 out of the 4 screws. All screws have now migrated south for the winter. So this thing is just being held on purely by this single piece of plastic, and I don't think it's doing me any solid favors. It's comedic at best.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, anyways, fuck it. I won't vape. I won't vape.
There you
it's
go.
not part of I know, right? I'll just quit.
Yeah.
Stone Edge. Or
Stone Edge, Straight Edge.
Straight
is
Edge.
the Pokemon move.
I'm gonna knock birds down. Or
Yeah,
no,
fire types get on out of here.
Oh. God damn it. Okay. Well, I better not do that just in case you guys start swearing immediately or immediately into the nightclub. Okay. Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Casual Master Quest. My name's Tyler Vidito. I'm going to be your host today, baby. We are going to have so much fun, just you and me. However, I'm going to say, jokes aside, we got 2 other cool people ready to jump into the action. Cam, how's it going, boss?
Pretty good. I've been taken by Destiny and I have no way out.
I understand the quicksand idea that is Destiny is in fact a true one. There is no theory around it. It is now like Newton's law was, technically a theory for a good while, but it took like years, centuries to make that into a law. Nope, the Destiny quicksand law that took about a week and a half.
Oh yeah,
Week and a
yeah.
half.
All
However,
my
the-
nagging finally paid off.
It did.
The grand nagger of Destiny is also here. Nick, how's it going, boss?
Good. I played a game this week that wasn't Destiny.
Whoa, that's illegal.
Heresy in the churches.
You can't pass
Take
it
them
off
away,
on us.
boys.
No way.
That's not allowed, Nick. What are you doing?
Um,
Play a non-Destiny. I mean, we're okay if it's Activision Bungie friendly. Was it an Activision / Bungie game?
well, no. Well, I mean, technically,
Outliers.
one of them. So okay, so I played 2 other games that wasn't Destiny this week, and I guess we're just hopping on into games that we've already played, unless we want to.
Yeah, we'll talk in a second. This is Casual Master Quest, episode number 19, the podcast that still believes Waluigi will get in Smash next time. Probably.
I believe it.
Okay, we know that we got another character confirmed for Smash, and it's like at this point, if that person's going to get in Smash, then Waluigi's he's probably going to get pushed to the backside. So when the Switch U comes out and Smash comes again, I know, right? It's switching up. All right, I'm calling it out. Let's talk about video games. Nick, I know you're excited. We can talk about all sorts of games, but there's one game that we all know and love, and we gotta give our appreciation instantly right here and now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pokemon Go Watch Proverbial Minute. Now, for those who don't know, and I hope you know at this point, because I mean this is like a hazing introductory way to enjoy Pokemon Go, because you're gonna have 3 guys who live and dream the life of Pokemon Go. Maybe not as much anymore because we're recovered addicts because we found different addictions, but that's besides the point. We're going to be talking about a little game called Pokemon Go, where we are talking on what did we do this week, what did we catch, what didn't we catch, and all that stuff. Nick,
Hi.
how was your Pokemon Go week?
Much more active than the last few weeks. Back to school full time, so I'm on campus, so I can spin Pokestops and catch Pokemon. I've been slowly working my way through the new special quest for Celebi, I think it is. And I'm still working on my Mew quest, though there's no progress there because I'll never catch Ditto. Ever in my life. I will never catch one.
I'm so sorry.
I haven't seen one for a couple of years, honestly. I think
and I'll never catch Ghost Pokemon because no matter how late I go out, there's never any Ghost Pokemon around.
Oh, man. Well, our area has been really foggy this past week, which makes it a prime time for Ghost Pokemon. So I've been seeing them everywhere. Also, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't probably bring that up if you're having trouble catching.
No, I mean, it is what it is. Like, as I've said before, I've got my collection on my DS on the core Pokemon game. So it's not like I'm out to collect, but it's just nice to. I'm a quest completer, and I just really want to complete the quest more than anything else. So, yeah. But otherwise, me and my roommate are probably going to go out and find a group to organize ourselves with and go and do the raids.
That's right. You said you had a roommate that you've been like consistently trading who was in Ukraine, I believe, for a little while, right?
Yes.
And then he just came back to Canada to, with all sorts of goodies to trade with you. I hope for, lucky Pokemon.
He got me a Alolan Vulpix.
Oh,
yeah, that's hard to find.
Cutest,
awesome.
Cutest, arguably one of the cutest Pokemon in the game ever, especially Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah, I'll second that.
100%, one of the best designs ever.
I can concur with that. We got yellow Pikachu, we got brown Pikachu, but the white Pikachu that breathes ice, oh, so good.
You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that, Tyler, and I'm gonna accept that.
Ooh, I agree. Alolan Vulpix, probably one of the cutest Pokemon. I mean, I could ask, but I feel like we'd have to think a lot because there is a lot of Pokemon to try to think of. What's the cutest Pokemon? Cam, what have you been playing for this week? Or obviously, we know what you've been playing. Pokemon Go. How's your Pokemon Go week been going?
Pretty good. So we have a new event rolling around right now. In addition to the raids coming out, we do have that egg situation, which is what I've been focusing mainly on. So 7K eggs that you can get from your friends giving you gifts now can contain region-exclusive Pokemon from the first generation.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's now the pressure's on, right? But the pressure's on and also the difficulty's on, because here's the reality of the situation. Niantic, and I've said this for a long time, Niantic really needs to give us a delete egg function. And it's a big problem because if you're getting eggs you don't want, if you're getting too many of something, a good example being if you don't have, such as my case, the opportunity to spin stops often, you'll only get Alolan eggs. Because if I'm getting a bunch of gifts from friends that come so frequently that I actually don't have regular eggs anymore, and I want to be able to delete those and get regular eggs. But
what's the matter? You don't like Alolan Meows and Sandshrews every single day?
But the problem is now is that we had to, like, that went into effect at a certain time, so I had to get rid of all of my eggs.
You said I have a power walk-in.
Yeah, before going to get this next batch of eggs that can have the region exclusives for a limited time. To do that, I had to spend money because I had to get enough incubators so I could actually work through my 9 eggs that were all Alolan. So I was like, oh.
So your trouble with Niantic is you want to be able to delete the eggs, but right now the other option that Niantic would have to, you know, let you deal with would be to pay them money and fix the problem. And it's like, I don't see Niantic changing that.
Yeah, no, me neither. Well, it wasn't a problem until now, really. That's the thing, is there was not, until this very specific scenario, a paid solution doesn't help insofar as, like, you could pay to get rid of all your Alolan eggs, walk through them real quick, and then only go spin stops that day and hopefully get 9 regular eggs. But I remember I used to walk around for 2 hours and I'd get, maybe it took like a couple hours to get all 9 eggs. Regular, but Alolan ones, as long as you open a gift, there's like a 70% chance or something. So I worked through them all. I have my Alolan ones now that might have the exclusives, and I'm walking that. And those are going to hatch soon. Hopefully region exclusives. So that's what I've been up to.
Oh, man. I hope for your sake it does, man. Yeah, I really hope. Yeah. I myself, I've also been playing Pokemon Go, shocker. Most of it, the time that I put in was today. I've tried very hard to try to get, you know, gifts out to raise the friendship level so I can get that sweet XP. Still have refused to add a friend, so I'm 2 out of the 3 for friend codes for the Celebi quest. And you know, one day I'll change that. One day, maybe not. So today, with the sorry, Cam had mentioned that there's special events going on, as well as the whole egg situation. Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno are now appearing as raids, level 5 raids from now on, I believe that from the 13th all the way out to the 20th. And after the 20th, a first time ever, Mewtwo is going to be appearing in 5-star raids instead of X raids. So if you have never done the whole, you know, do the raid battle over at a specialized park area, this is near a chance to finally do it on a more reasonable basis than saying, hey, you have one chance for an hour on this random time on this random day of the week. And so people are actually going to be able to catch Mewtwo a little bit more legitimately, besides being hardcore dedicated. I'm on Discord, you know, scouting out other X raids with my, you know, with my brothers and sisters of Pokemon Go love and all that crap. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm triggering myself just thinking about it. I've gotten one Mewtwo out of the whole situation, and I've never gotten one since because of that. Let's see the XP difference right now between myself and Cam, because I'm passive aggressively trying to defeat him in some shape or form. It's a very small and petty mental victory.
Cool.
800,000, I believe. I'm a little bit under 800,000.
On my end, I'm actually about to hit level 35, so that's fun.
I know.
I'm sure you do. You might know more than I do.
Like, you are my Dinkelberg of Pokemon Go. Like, I constantly see Cam collects. This is where I'd, you know, my level 35 would be if I had it.
I think Tyler might know my EXP right now more than I do.
You are definitely 1.215 or something million. Like, you are 40,000 or less away from hitting the next level.
We're approaching stalker levels of Pokemon Go.
Nice.
I mean, it's so easy. The benefits of being, you know, friends with Cam on Pokemon Go means I get this, you know, look every single time I get on, and it's fantastic. I mean, Destiny 2 does the same thing too. It's like, oh, what power levels Cam today? I bet he's gonna, you know, hit the, you know, 2 higher next time. And it's like, I'll inspect and start like, oh, that's pretty cool armor. You know,
by the way, you scoping my 518 today?
Oh, did he hit 518?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. It's my wife's birthday, so we went out to catch some Pokemon together. Before we headed out for her birthday lunch, we caught a Articuno. I just wanted the XP, honestly, but you know, the rare candy is also nice. Oh man, that rare candy. But yes, hopefully in next week we will be able to start catching Mewtwo in raids. For now, for those listening, you'll be able to catch your legendary birds if you want to. And right now for the Pokemon Go research quest, it is still Entei last I checked. I do not know when that's going to change. However, if you haven't gotten it, I would get it sometime soon in the next week because your chance might be running out. And I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Suicune, or it's Suicune, right?
I say Suicune, yeah.
Okay, good. Suicune should be coming up on the horizon. I'm guessing next month. So let's be real here. There's the opportunity is gonna arise and disappear real quick. So I think that's gonna be it for Pokemon Go, unless we have any wild announcements like you're going down, mysterious person of passive aggressive intent. Who could that be? I don't know. So let's talk about games that we've been playing. Cam, I'm gonna look at you now. You are moving. You are happy. You are smiling. What have you been playing, my friend?
So Destiny, but we talked about Destiny. So all I'll say for that is I'm working through my weeklies for the first time. I'm doing weeklies and dailies and figuring that whole system out and having trouble with something right now. There's a thing called the Ascendant Challenge that I'm really, really struggling on and can't beat. So I might need to do that with somebody because I'm having a lot of trouble. It's it's less about fighting and more about running and not getting killed by things. And my light level is pretty low for it. So I'm like,
is there a recommended level?
No, sorry. Spoiler, Cam, there is fighting, but at the end.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. I feel like the thing is they pretty much 1 or 2 hit me. So I feel like I need to be higher. Yeah.
Don't you love that where you're like 40 below the recommended level and you get like halfway in because you just managed to skirt everything. But when you actually have to fight or do something and you keep dying, it's like, I've gotten so far. I don't want to give up because I can do it. It won't be fair. The rewards will be insubstantial, but I want to do it just to tell myself I did.
And the thing about it too is I think one thing for Destiny as a whole, I feel Destiny 2 as a whole, is I think that their normal brightness setting is way too dark. And maybe that was intentional, but I really actually can't see anything in the challenge. Like I'll often try and jump over something and end up falling into a bottomless pit because I'm like, oh, that wasn't ground. That was just dark abyss.
That's weird. I could be wrong 100%. Did they not let you adjust the brightness in the very beginning?
No, they do, but I think like following their instructions is too dark. So
I never follow their instructions.
It's hard. This is more of a hardware thing. There's only so much you can do with one setting across millions, if not thousands of different devices, different kinds of TVs, monitors.
So I think things might be a little just dark on my end, but
I wouldn't follow that unless it was like an OLED TV or something like that, where you want to enjoy true darkness.
Yeah, the full depth.
If you want Ansem K, you want true darkness.
But besides that, been playing Spider-Man. So I borrowed Spider-Man. So
Spider-Man, tell us about Spidey.
It wasn't on my coverage, but my friend beat it already, so I got to borrow it. That's a wonderful game. I'd say definitely it's going to be one of the Game of the Year contenders, I'm feeling. The swinging is absolutely superb. Almost nothing bad I can say about it. It attaches to buildings. That's the very important part. You're not swinging on the sky. And there's a lot of great attention to detail stuff in the game. I don't want to do a full review because it would take a long time, but everything minor, every attention to detail, even knocking enemies off buildings. If you happen to catch an eye, if you look and you knock an enemy off a building, you will see them get webbed and kind of swing a little bit. Like they didn't actually die because Spider-Man tries to not kill people, but
and like when you hit them in the head with the mailbox, that stainless steel.
But they're fine. They didn't die.
Yeah, but they're fine. The combat system is exactly what I need it to be. It's it's not some spectacular style system, but it's pretty stylish. Makes you feel pretty powerful, and the story beats are wonderful. Yuri Lowenthal is doing a great job as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker, and it really feels super done up. I really, really like it. Really like it.
And it's weird because you wanted to make a very strong case right there, saying, "Hey, Peter Parker doesn't actually kill anybody. He, everything. They just walk off all injured and stuff. No worry.
They try.
A small headache, a little ibuprofen can fix that. Heavy concussion. But then there's moments, and it's not Peter Parker themselves, but Spider-Man in general. Like there was a time where a guy, and threw me off completely. A guy shooting himself in the head, and that's I was like, whoa, it just pulled the persona, on me. It's like they went there. It's like, whew.
There's some real stuff in the plots here. Like especially there's one scene in particular at a political rally that's pretty hardcore. It's pretty extreme, and it's like, whoa, man.
You can't believe that just happened. It's like, man, they are not afraid of making the jump on something like that. It just felt weird because when you think of Spider-Man, Spider-Man's been pretty turbulent in terms of the usage of different companies and whatnot. The license have been passed on many different ways. And so it's like you'd think they'd want to make it look as great as possible, but they'd want to be safe when it comes to how things roll out. and it seems like it's Insomniac, right?
Yeah.
And Insomniac decided, no, we are not going to play it safe. We're going to take some risk. We are going to face potential hostilities, but they do it so well, and I think they're very crafty with how they handle things.
I think that's the cool things too, is you can see in the gameplay that it was meant to be accessible. So there's a couple things, like there are puzzles, but some of the more extreme ones you don't have to do. You can skip them. Like, it is meant to be accessible to everybody, but in terms of story content, like, they're telling you a story and you either jive with that story or you don't, which I'm personally jiving very, very well with it, because I really like the idea of like just Peter going around like, oh, I gotta be here, I gotta be here, I gotta be here. He has so many places to go, so many people to talk to, and he's just like, he feels like he's on his A game all the time pretty much. But in his actual life as Peter Parker, he has struggles, so he's not like infallible. That's the really fun part. So they do stuff with him when they, get to his actual life, where it's like, oh, he's going off saving crime here, but like he's overdue on rent and might get evicted. Like, it's a pretty fun sort of thing they have going on there. But yeah, overall, absolutely wonderful. And,
I have an important question to somebody who has not played it. You can either say no or potentially. To avoid spoilers. Does Venom ever make an appearance in this game?
You said you want no or potentially?
Like, if it's no, that he's not going to appear, it's not really a spoiler if you say he doesn't, I guess, in my head anyways.
Well, I was saying, because one way or the other I could answer that would spoil, is he or isn't he? Because it's either a no or a yes, basically.
True, I know. Okay, fine. Don't, if you want to give me the eyebrow thing or something, it's just, I really wanted Venom to be in this game, but I did not see a single trace from him.
I'll give you a maybe. I'm not gonna say no or yes, but I'll give you a maybe.
Okay, sure. Yep. Or I guess I did see all the baddies, and I did see how things are going to formulate, how the story is going to come to its conflict, which essentially was the trailer that we saw during E3, I believe, for the most part, like how things are going to come to be.
If you know about Spider-Man lore, which I don't really, I'm not a Marvel guy, but I have a bunch of friends who are and told me, but they do interesting things with the characters that they hadn't done before. So they're not following any specific sort of comic books run or any specific movie run. They're pretty much doing their own Spider-Verse thing going on here, and they have villains doing things that you haven't really seen before, and certain things like that. So for those of you who know Spider-Man, you start off the game and you're working for Dr. Otto Octavius, which is pretty interesting. You're working for him as an intern in his lab, which is pretty interesting. He's a great guy. But yeah, so besides that, I played Pixelmon as well, which was the final thing I played. And I love Pixelmon. I've talked about it briefly a couple other times. But Pixelmon is basically a Minecraft mod, puts Pokemon in Minecraft, puts, Pokeball crafting in Minecraft, gyms in Minecraft, the whole battle system in Minecraft. And it's like kind of what I want out of a Pokemon experience. So I've just been on a server with people, friends of mine, having a great time, exploring, because in every different biome, they have like 16 biomes and a bunch of different Pokemon spawns. Some are really rare. I ran across a Lapras in the middle of the ocean exploring, and I was like, ooh, like, it was so good. So
that's awesome.
An ideal Pokemon experience, far superior to Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Anyway,
so I just want to confirm this. Was this the same playthrough of Pixelmon where somebody posted on Twitter a picture of your majestic wooden house on top of the hill?
Yeah, they posted my box. So I'm terrible at building. I have no crafting sense whatsoever. So generally, everybody makes mansions and fabulous constructs of like what's it called? The self-processing ore plants and things like that. I just make a box. I can put some wood blocks and I put them over there, and I made a square house, and that's my house. That's always. I just wanted
to make sure I got that. Like, that's actually pretty humble of you to admit something like that, because
I'm terrible.
I would have thought that you'd have the creative spark, like, I want to look fantastic. You're like, nope, utility.
I'm not creative at all.
Keep the brain out.
Like, I'd be the same with any game that involves building like that. I've got one room for my bed if the game needed a bed. I've got one room for all of my workbenches. Every single one of my workbenches. And I've got one room for nothing. It's just there, and it's probably the entryway to the to my abode, to my home.
Well, that's the thing. I'm playing Pixelmon because I want to explore, have Pokemon adventures, fight the gyms, which, mind you, are really challenging because they give the gym leaders not competitive movesets, but smart movesets and good coverage. So it's like, ooh, this is dangerous. And with that all being said, I was like, I don't feel like I need a fancy house, and I also don't know and am not good at building them and don't want to spend the time. So I'm just going to take it at my own pace, be real comfy with it. And I'm having a wonderful time with that. So those of you who've never tried it before, try out Pixelmon. It's great.
So you play against, I'm assuming, computer gym leaders, you say.
Mm-hmm. And there's trainers in the World Tour. Yes, you can battle each other. There's trainers in the world, too. There's Pokemarts. There's Pokemon centers. There's a bunch of cool stuff. So on my exploration, I was just exploring the region, basically, and making, like, markers, like I was, charting new territory. And I ended up finding the space time altar where you can summon Giratina and like the Dialga and Palkia. Yeah, no, like there's some cool stuff because it's so cool in Minecraft, just like exploring a mountain and then running across that and being like, "Yo, oh man,
holy crap!"
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Can you trade with the other players in the server?
Yep. And you can breed. You can do everything. You can breed. You hatch eggs. That's it's
sick.
full. It is full.
Nick, you say you don't play Minecraft, correct?
Yeah, but I might pick up Minecraft.
I was gonna say, do you want to do something here because we can make the jump.
Listen, all I'm saying is if you guys want to, I don't know. I'm not the owner of the server, but I could ask because it's very easy. He has a mod pack. He mods Minecraft himself. All you need to do is just basically download his pack, download a launcher, and you can be on in 5 minutes.
Cam's got an in.
Yeah,
please whitelist us, dude. All right. It's funny because this reminds me of another time with Minecraft. I wanted to get onto a server. It was a vanilla server, as far as I can tell. And they had a lot of problems with trolls and whatnot. So they basically had to make you do an application to get into this.
Yeah, I've done that.
And they accepted me, but I was thrown off because I was like, they're not going to accept me because like one of the questions is like, why do you want to join this server? And in general, why do you like Minecraft? I'm like, oh boy, 500-word essay. I just typed in, I like to dig. And
there you go.
They let me in based on that. I was like, okay, sure. You know, it's like, hey, I love digging, and that's what I did.
Well, that's one thing where I do resonate with that because I do treat myself a bit like a mole person because you will see, here's the thing, that box that you saw was my house.
Coy move.
But I always have an underground area that's like barely accessible where like I have a mine shaft. So like that tiny little house has a mine shaft that's just like 9 by 9 that goes down just all the way to bedrock and then branches off into a bunch of different mines. So like I'm an underground boy is what it is.
That's my favorite thing to do in Minecraft too. Is like make a 3x3 house, make it standard wood, windows and stuff, and then just put a little like ladder that leads down. All of a sudden, giant fortress. Just whoosh. Was like, oh.
When I was on whitelisted servers and stuff, that's actually how I used to play, and why my building. One of the reasons why my building style is very easy was just because I'd hide my entrance. So I'd have a 1-block entrance in the underwater to my base or something like that. Where I remember distinctly that one of my first biggest servers, we made a place called Brome that was like Bro and Rome together, and there was just a little island.
Yeah, and Brome.
And like 6 blocks off from the island, if you went down, there was just a 1 block opening, and if you dove down there and then took a right path, you get into my base. That was the only way in, only way out. And I just hid stuff basically.
It felt like it was needed because if you didn't do the right mod to like townie or something to protect your property, anybody could just come sweeping in and just loot all your stuff and destroy it.
Exactly.
There was also a time where I was a mod for a large Minecraft server, and just like people messaged me like somebody destroyed my house, and so I would hit it. I would see who the person was with this mod, murder them, like aka banning, and then send it back. Yeah, but then I also realized I could do it against myself. I realized later that the admins could see what I was doing. I would put like 50 diamond blocks down, mine them, use this thing to roll back the thing and keep the item. And then just one day they come to visit my house, and I just have this 200 block high pillar of diamond blocks, and it's like, where did you get all the diamonds? So I was like, I love to dig.
I love to dig.
I love to dig. And eventually they looked at the account logs of me, doing rollbacks, and it's like, Tycho 2000 rolled back 50 diamond blocks. Tycho 2000 rolled back 50 diamond blocks.
God.
Like, okay, I might have deserved that. That's okay.
You got me.
Nick, I know you said you played something besides Destiny 2 Forsaken. What was it, man?
So the main game I was referencing was Battlefield 5.
Wait, that's an Activision game. What are you talking about?
I played that too.
Battlefield,
right? Or is that
EA?
No, it's EA.
Be gone.
Call of Duty is Activision.
I always get them mixed up because I don't care about either of them. You're saying though.
The only reason I played was because that's what my friends were playing, and I just wanted to play with my friends. I had a terrible, and it's not nightclub time yet. I had a terrible time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had like a horrible time.
I think it's an awful game.
Are we just talking about in general with the multiplayer? Are we talking the blackout mode?
And this is what I agree. My friends were talking about this. This was just purely multiplayer. They took many steps back from Battlefield 1. I played and I owned Battlefield 1 on my Xbox, and it was a fun game for the most part. But Battlefield 5 just feels like the most jankiest thing I've ever played in my life. Like, And I've not even played PUBG, so I can't even make a proper comparison there.
Well, be assured, Nick, all the bugs that were there in the Battlefield 3 demo are still there.
Features. They're features. No, they're not bugs.
DLC at this point, jeez. And so I just want to say specifically, and this is a terrible joke, if they made a couple of step backs from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5, they had 4 games to go through from 1 to 5, man. This is ridiculous how long it's taken them to fix these mistakes.
I can see you're being funny there, Tyler.
I'm being horribly facetious. It was funny because I was being legit this time around, but then I realized I had to make my own catch. But
that was a good joke, though, especially for somebody who doesn't follow the series. They would fall into that.
The one where your neck.
Yep. Yeah.
Not happy about that one.
Yeah, that was a little longer than usual, Cam.
Not happy about that one.
Oh man, I was trying to play Koi too. I almost got away with you being frozen. All of a sudden, I hear something like Renekton or something like that. So how much time did you put into Battlefield 5, the beta?
4 hours more than I should have.
Okay, so about I don't know, -4 hours, I hope, for your sake, or something like that.
Pretty much. It's 4 hours is, what is it, 1/6 of my day. I wasted 1/6 of my day. But beyond that, Overwatch, I'm streaming Overwatch on fixed days now.
That's good too.
Playing competitively because I hate myself.
Yep.
Yeah, your sodium count is way too high when you play that thing.
Very much so. But yeah, so Monday I should be continuing with my playthrough of Bayonetta, which as it stands today, as it comes out for audio listeners, which makes Tyler here particularly very happy because it's something other than Destiny that I'll be playing.
Oh, praise the Lords. Praise all the goddesses, the gods, whatever there is out there. Thank you.
And
yes. I wait for you to finish. Never mind.
No, I'm pretty much done.
I was just gonna say I wanted to talk about Battlefield 5 if we could.
Yeah, let's
together.
do that. Let's trash talk Battlefield 5.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to fully intend to do, and let's execute right now. So. Okay, so we talked about, janky stuff like that. I wasn't joking when I said a lot of the bugs are in there still from 3. Some of the ones that you can even still see. So like the crane neck thing was still there on PC for me. The fact of your torso snapping backwards was still there for me. Like ammo floating into guns was still there. It's just a bunch of wild stuff. It felt like a Chinese knockoff, like a Tencent Chinese knockoff of Battlefield, just because of how jank it was. I really, didn't have anything good to say about it. It did feel like they rolled a lot back. It's not the Battlefield that I remember. It's not even really the slow-paced combat in many cases that I liked about early Battlefields, and just things that are just as gross as I play support, and used to be that you take out your big ammo crate and you hunker it down. You're like, there you go. Now you have these little ammo pouches you just peg people with. And sometimes you miss and they just roll off to the side and it's restocked and it's so sad looking.
The worst part is for beta, I picked the medic class because I've now become a healer main somehow all of a sudden.
Good.
But yeah, no, I picked the medic class and I can't heal people. The medic class in an open beta, doesn't come with the medical pouches or the medical crates pre-unlocked. You have to play the beta to unlock them.
Oh,
and
God.
That was so the medic class, for their special gear, you start with a grenade launcher instead of a grenade or something else, or ammo pouches instead of med kits. I can't understand.
Just shoot them until they stop bleeding. That usually fixes it, right?
Okay, well, actually, on that same note, I do want to say that support class traditionally has an LMG and a shot, like an LMG or a shotgun or something like that.
Let's say for me it was trench shotgun, yeah.
Which is fine, but give us our main our main thing, and then give us a support thing. Do you know?
Well, that's what I'm going for. No, that's fine. The problem is the LMG they start you with as a support has a 25 round mag.
Why is it an LMG then?
Yeah, that's my question. I was like, huh?
What would be the average size? I mean, is it even a clip versus a giant?
It was just a clip.
An LMG would be about
100 or something.
At the very least, a small LMG clip would be
50. Yeah,
yeah, that's a small LMG clip, right? Then you're looking at upwards of 120, 130, maybe.
I don't know. It was just overall a terrible experience, and unfortunately, I think it's on my review schedule, so I might have to try and weasel out of that.
Oh man, get excited, get hyped.
But yeah, besides those games, I've been me and my buddy have been taking the grind in Destiny slow. Also, I want to say 518 LOL 531.
Oh, how though?
I've actually gotten really lucky with my RNG one day, and I was just getting targeted upgrades for every single slot. And then after that, I just got heavy weapon after heavy weapon, and then like chest pieces after chest pieces. So I wasn't really climbing up anywhere.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here with about 70 edge transits, and
Yeah, it's the best in the game.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the only gun in the game.
it's the only gun.
I don't know how you're using any other gun except for edge transit.
Oh my god. I finally got actually the Tiger Strike or whatever it's called, the auto rifle, which
Tiger Spike. Yeah.
Tiger Spike. Yeah, I'm super happy about that because I was rolling with a sidearm and something else that wasn't working out. I didn't have a good combo with what I had, so now I do. So
I got a really crappy roll on my Tiger Spike. That was my first one, so I'm not too happy about that. But I've gotten some pretty decent rolls otherwise. So
okay.
happy.
Nick, I'm going to ask you to take a seat. You can take off your headset if you want to. You do whatever you need to. Cam, as somebody who just started playing Destiny 2, what have you been doing to raise your gear level?
Right. Okay. So I've been doing the dailies and the weeklies, just like I should be doing, hopefully.
The Patrick Bench ones?
Well, just all of them. So I'm doing Crucible, I'm doing Gambit, I'm doing daily heroic story missions, I'm doing everything that has the shiny dot on it that says do this, get powerful gear. I'm doing. I'm having trouble doing some of the stuff from the city, from the Dreaming City, just because some of that I feel like I need to be a higher level. Besides that, I know I have a boost that I can get prime engrams from. Like I see the boost sometimes during the day where it says you can get a higher chance of getting prime engrams. So I've gotten a couple that way, but mostly just trying to do out those weeklies and dailies and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Nick, I'm not trying to disparage you, but you are a 100% in-depth encyclopedia where I only need about 4% of the information, and you're a waterfall of information.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I can't handle it. It just overloads me. It's like, okay, Cam's not exactly the layman view of what I should be doing in Destiny 2, but he's obviously doing something right. And if I can just mimic him a little bit in the most simplest of the forms, that's
So Tyler,
no, so really, except for like you take away the Dreaming City, but like just ignore the Dreaming City for now. Everything that Tyler
said.
Should
I be doing Crucible? Oh, you mean Cam?
Just take a look at in destinations. When you hit destinations, you look at your map. You see that shiny gold, the shiny gold circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, those mean that you get weekly or daily bonuses there. And if it says powerful gear and you complete that challenge, that will get you the gear.
So I should technically, instead of trying to do all the weekly and daily bounties that are just doing horrible things to my lower cavity.
So I'm going to interrupt here. Anytime I've ever said dailies or weeklies, I've been talking about the quests on the destination overview, not the bounties. Some of the bounties do give, some of the weekly bounties do give powerful gear, but whenever I say dailies or weeklies, I'm talking about your daily heroic story mission, your daily heroic adventure, your daily strike, your daily crucible match, your weekly 5 crucible matches, your weekly 3 gambit matches, your daily gambit match.
He didn't know.
Those are some of the dailies and some of the weekly bounties. One weekly bounty from Petra will give you powerful gear, I believe. Yes. Everything else gives you legendary gear.
Nick.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
wow.
I may have legitimately, and I'm not going to lie, for anybody who gets to see that, I may have gotten angry and blacked out and raged for about 3.5 seconds there. I hit a point where I was rising, and I just because doing the bounties with Patrick Bench has been nothing short of a nightmare. Now, obviously, you got the weekly stuff that you can do, and obviously, there's one of the weeklies where you have to do 8 of the bounties.
That goes over 2 days because you do 5 in one day and then 3 the next day.
Yeah.
And it's been very frustrating. But if I can backtrack and go back over to Shaxx, if I can go back over to, do all those other people that I used to talk to during Warmind and Osiris and do those weeklies and still get the gear upgrades I need, that would be much better because the Dreaming City has been roughhousing me hard.
Yeah. So a lot of them you don't even need to talk to the people. The only people you need to talk to for powerful gear right now are Petra Venj and
Ikora, right?
Spider. Well, Ikora for the weekly her weekly, but the Spider in the Tangled Shore gives you the different wanted bounties, and one of them, the hardest one for the week that costs I think 7 ghost fragments to get, will give you powerful gear. Everything else gives you legendary gear, so you do them for different roles on armor and weapons.
Have to be my wife's birthday.
But yes, no. So again, this is one of the things that I wanted to make sure that new people were understanding when they changed the UI. It's all the weeklies and the dailies on your destination overview. When you hold down, I don't know what the button is on controllers.
It's middle pad for PS4. Yeah.
It's interesting because I recognize my stage of addictions. Usually it's like a slow burn. I want to play as often as I can, as much as I can, but it's a slow burn. Right now, it feels like my addiction to Destiny 2 is the equivalent of it's been about 3 hours since I had my last snort of cocaine.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like I am like in this huge rush. I got to play Destiny every given minute where I'm able to if I have free time, and it's so frustrating.
And I think the problem with that was also because you weren't seeing any growth, and you were just trying to figure out why there was no growth. And now that you know, it'll be a lot easier on you mentally.
Something weird happened yesterday. I played with Nick. He wanted to do story, and well, I tried wanting to do story so I could catch him up to the Dreaming City so we can do this stuff together. And he was like, "Let's. Have you tried Gambit?" I'm like, "No, I'll play." As soon as I play, about 5 minutes in, an exotic drops, and I'm like,
"Nice."
I still haven't seen one.
I just look. It's like, that's yellow. Is that a exotic? Like, I was just like flabbergasted. Like, I can randomly
get the Graviton Lance.
No, I wish it was the Graviton Lance. Oh man, I would do all sorts of things I can't detail for at least another 20 minutes.
Right.
I believe it was some kind of gauntlet piece. Like I was kind of pushed off because I already had like the Ashen Wake or whatever it's called.
Okay. The Ashen Wake's a terrible piece, by the way.
Was it like Feedback Fence or something?
No, like it's just bad. Feedback Fence is great.
Was it Feedback Fence what he got?
Oh.
I have no idea. I mean, I could tell you next time. I didn't delete anything. I just kind of like looked at it, was amazed, like, holy crap, my stuff can get upgraded still by just random chance if I wanted to. And actually, you know what? I'm not even sure if it was an upgrade or not. I was just amazed an exotic dropped because
that's fantastic. I've gotten 4 exotics and all of them have been year 1 exotics.
Nice. You just reminded me I need to go get Xur.
Yes. I forgot the item that I saw.
For anybody listening, I don't know if it's already too late. It's probably too late. Xur is in on Earth. He's in the EDZ. He's on Winding Cove.
Yep, very north of Winding Cove, I believe. Yep.
And the stuff that I saw that he dropped, like I think it was like another auto rifle or something like that, and it was a hand cannon, exotic hand cannon of some kind. And Cam's getting excited, and it would have replaced my hard light, and I was like, no, thank you. Plus, hand cannon, but hey, that's your
exotic hand cannon. Oh, Sunshot. Sunshot's a fantastic weapon.
Sunshot.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing weapon. It's a PvE focused weapon, great in PvP, but PvE, when you kill an enemy, they explode. And if they explode close enough to another enemy and that explosion does damage, and then that'll kill them, and then they'll also explode, and it just chains the explosions over. Yeah. So if they're all weak enough, they get like one hit by the explosions, and if there are enough of them, all you'll have in front of you is a beautiful like display of fireworks.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Fantastic.
So Tyler, what have you been playing?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm probably the one person that's kind of like stagnating on different games, but that's okay. It kind of makes sense. I've been playing World of Warcraft. I have, ladies and gentlemen, finally hit Exalted with Argusian Reach, and I now have a level 20 Void Elf mage.
Yeah.
And like 6 weeks of just hate-filled grinding. It felt so good. But the moment I made the character and it's like, go out in the world, go level the young child, I immediately got off of World of Warcraft and I haven't touched it for about 3 days so far. I got to get back on. I got to get playing because I was so excited. I didn't even know what to name her. I was like I worked so hard, imagining this cool quest I can, stream this character and all that. I had no idea what to call her. I made some random bullcrap name from a generator, but I was happy with it. So I got that. I'm excited. Over on the Persona 4 front, I have made amazing progress. And Cam, would you say it's safe to talk stuff that would be considered spoilery territory?
That game is 10 years old.
Okay.
Although Persona 4 Golden's not, but that
2012, right? So it's been 6 years. I would say after 2 years, it'd start to get to open.
It's fine. Just people tune off. We're gonna talk about Persona.
So I don't remember. I think last time I was going halfway like through the heaven area. I have defeated Namatame. I've gotten to the point where I realized that he's not the actual crook. Mm-hmm. He's technically the crook, but let's be real. His reasoning was off and he was an idiot, but otherwise he was a good guy. And, It's like, hey, let's start, here's a list of 8 people that you think might be a troublemaker. 7 of them are your own team, or like, and then 2 of them's like your father. 1 of them's your 6-year-old sister. And then there's just 1 person that just seems kind of a little out of the blue.
It was Nanako.
Yep, it was totally Nanako Dojima. She put herself, she tricked Namatame to, kidnap her, when in fact it was the killer all along.
There's a really good image of selecting, it's like an image macro of selecting Nanako, and then the next like selection, the next screen is her face all contorted, like you should have stopped there, big bro. How'd you find out? But yeah, it's not Nanako.
But I discovered it was Adachi, and they did, I'd say, a good job, but I feel like it was just more like sporadic. It didn't, take hard to make him look like an aloof, just, funny go-to character. And of course, the moment we suggest that he might be a naughty boy, all of a sudden, light switch flips. Suddenly, he's not, the happy-go-lucky person. He's actually, in fact, potentially maybe a killer or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
And so I'm in the process of what they call the Seekers of Truth segment, where you're trying to piece together how the heck to find Adachi in the Midnight Channel.
Yep.
And so I haven't done that yet. I haven't seen where Marie has a correlation yet, but I'm assuming she's going to make an appearance in a deeper form soon. Is that the case, or is this a wrong dungeon?
So remember, Marie is added for Golden. Yes. So the original Persona 4 ends with Adachi's situation. But
really? So when it, like, I know we're going to talk about the gas station attendant guy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay, so Marie is more correlated with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that if I were to meet with her in any dungeon situation, it would be at the very end then.
Yeah.
Okay, so Adachi's pretty much by himself, and
for all intents and purposes, Adachi's the villain.
Okay. Yep. But then Golden's like, LOL, this isn't even my final form.
Everything. So both Golden and the original did this, but they do it differently with Marie and Golden. But basically, it's just something you can expect out of Persona in general and out of SMT as a whole in general, which is whoever you think the bad guy is, there's actually some sort of evil aspect of God, humanity that's behind everything. Always.
That's completely not. It's mentioned lightly once about the tale of Izanami and Izanagi or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just throws me off because, I looked into the wikis, I did that deep dive, I got to understand everything about Persona 4, and it talks so much about this stuff, but then it's just barely mentioned in the main storyline, and it's really frustrating, knowing that at the very end, it's not really, somebody that's mortal, it's, this legend that got trailed over the course of this entire place.
You're always going to fight some god equivalent in the end of a Persona game, pretty much without fail.
Oh boy. And I just want to confirm this. I believe the final time that I can complete the dungeon by is December 23rd. And people told me, or the guides told me, to specifically do it like either on the 22nd or on the 23rd. That way you can do the Christmas event or something like that. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about here?
So Christmas, I think, happens. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be that if you do it at the wrong time, it could skip Christmas.
Because I was told if you do the dungeon, it'll fast forward to the 23rd. So
yeah, that's true. So if you're trying to eke out as much time as you can, that would be smart for that one. I'm trying to remember how that works. It's been a few years since I last played it.
Because I feel like I'm in the position, because I'm playing it on easy, that I pretty much can steamroll it, so I don't really need to burn out the days. Plus, I'm maxed out on all my stats.
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, if you want to go for it, then you can. But
like the only thing I can do really is social links. But I don't know how well it's gonna like give me time to just run around and talk to the Risei anymore.
Well, you can always see a little bit more of their story.
Fair enough. So I got that on Persona 4. I pretty much got it on the ropes, but I'm sure that means I only have another 10, 15 hours to go. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
I've been continuing my stream of Skyward Sword. I have it's interesting to me because Skyward Sword does 3 sets of 3s. First thing you do is 3 dungeons, and then you do the 3 flames to increase the power of your sword, and then to activate it or whatnot to continue on the thing, you got 3 sets of songs. And I am currently on the 2nd set of 3, where I just completed the 4th dungeon essentially to get the first flame. And wow, that was actually pretty hard. It was the first time that I actually had to consider, oh man, this might actually have some difficulty to it, because I fought the boss in there. I don't remember what the boss's name is, but it reminded me of like a Papyrus, or not Papyrus. What is it? The main final boss of Curse of Osiris.
Oh, Panoptes.
Panoptes. I think his name was Kalactos or something like that. You know, it had the same vibe.
Okay.
But it's this giant golden statue with 6 arms and scimitars, and it looked like some evil villain from Aladdin's 5th movie that never got the the release. And man, that is a good boss, but it's also a very hard, unforgiving boss if you screw up. I played that. I'm about a third of the way through the game, and I think that's pretty much it on my end for playing games. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we continue on to another fun segment?
I'm all set.
I'm excited.
You know, you sound excited.
I am I'm at that point where everything's just neutral, and as I said pre-show, whatever happens, happens.
Optimism up, Guardian. Okay, so
Good.
Ooh. So, for those who don't know, this is going to be the Nick Switch Initiative segment where we pick a topic of Nintendo origin and try to grill Nick to the best of our tendencies in either a sadistic fashion or otherwise, trying to give him an educational edge over the rest of, human society. So one day that he may own a Nintendo Switch and then be the lore master over all of us. That way, if we talk about something, he can correct us and say that our lore is wrong and then give us the finer details as needed, depending on.
I'm just waiting on the Destiny 2 Switch port. That's all I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Cam, thoughts here. Team up with me here. Let's say we didn't have to pay for it or anything like that. You know we do. If it came out to the Switch, if Destiny 2 came out to the Switch, would you switch to that?
No.
No,
if I could bring all my stuff over, if I could crossplay and like keep my data between both saved to the cloud,
Like
yeah,
Fortnite
right.
style.
Right. Yeah, I
right.
forgot.
For
The console players are already locked to 30 FPS. My bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but if I could do
Why
that,
is it
maybe
on the Switch? It was 60 FPS.
Then I'd play it on the Switch. If I could take Destiny with me wherever I went,
right.
I would put
Live and die.
I would live and die by my
Now,
Switch.
Nick, you can take Destiny wherever you want, as we
Oh,
saw
no.
Tyler do.
Oh no!
The PlayStation
I totally
Vita.
forgot about this.
With
Okay.
the PlayStation Vita.
Let's not talk about this because it's an abomination. And
So
let's
let's-
just-
I
let's
got
talk
the Vita
about
game in
this.
today, guys.
Oh, congrats! One
Yeah.
of the 2 visual novels imported
Yeah.
from Japan. Congrats!
Well, this one's from Venezuela, but yeah.
Oh, obviously, you're right. You're right. So, as Cam had mentioned, and Nick is dreading, there is one time where I was out of state for my usual weekly runs, which is no longer the case. I'm actually entering winter mode, where I will not be going out of state once a week anymore. Lonely in my hotel room, pining for Destiny 2, but unable to play it in any shape or form. I was very upset with the world, and I was watching somebody on Twitch playing Destiny 2 or some crap like that. And lo and behold, I had a terrible dark thought enter my head from the old gods of old.
A brilliant thought. I whispered
And
into your ear.
Yeah, it was actually Cam. Tyler, why don't you play the Vita? Connect to the PS4.
Because nobody remembers, but
Destiny 2.
nobody remembers, but the Vita can do remote play for
the
PS4.
new gods have abandoned us.
And
They've
no
left
fun-
us in ruin and forsaken us.
No, like I tried this and it worked for me, linking the Vita to the PS4, this forgotten ability, long time forgotten, to play Persona 5. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to play Persona 4. But, I give it a shot. And sure as all heck, you can play Destiny 2 on your PlayStation Vita using Remote Link. And it is god awful.
It is the best.
It is it's like having a cool feature that you will never use. Kind of like having the light for the Game Boy Link of the Game Boy Color where you can plug it in, it has an overhead light. Sure, if you have anything less than 90% on your AA batteries, it'll immediately kill your Game Boy Color, but it's still nice to have to appreciate. It's a cool feature.
Exactly.
Or you can go to backlight.
I used to see people at college playing Bloodborne and Final Fantasy 14 using the Vita, like remote play.
God.
Ooh.
Oh. I mean, it was cool because it looked great. It looked fantastic. Obviously, 30 frames per second. Well, given the internet stability and the latency was horrible. I couldn't aim worth squat. Plus, it took me a while. I was like, oh gosh, there's no touchpad. And this was a moment of ingenuity for me. I touched the middle of the screen. The middle of the screen was the touchpad. So I entered directory mode by touching the screen of the Vita. I'm like, wow, that was so cool. But other than that, like aiming and everything else, it was terrible. And I won't, do that ever again unless it was as a joke. It's funny because I'm crossing two worlds here. Cam and the world of Vita and, making Vita useful in any shape or form he can think of, with Nick, who adores and puts Destiny 2 on the highest of pedestals. So I got like a grave lord with the Vita saying, rise from the grave, trying to, grab at anything he can. And meanwhile, Heaven with Destiny 2 with Nick, being the gatekeeper, just combining and just watching the looks on both of your faces with Cam going, yes. And Nick's like, oh God, please don't do this ever again. Anyways, so
clearly Nick needs a Vita. That's all we're saying.
So the Nick Switch initiative, guys.
What is that?
It's a little thing where I'm going to give you 5 questions. It is my turn to bug you with the questions this time. Last time I made it a little too easy, and I was very upset with myself. So I have 5 questions for you. I've given them influentially, it's pretty much going to be up to you. I can make them hard by taking out multiple choice and whatnot. And if you feel like that's impossible due to the circumstances, I'll have multiple choice for you. You'll just lose your honor and dignity as you try to answer it.
Let's see how the first 2 questions go.
Of course.
And you decide accordingly.
And so let's start with the Nick Switch initiative for the game Splatoon.
So, Nick, you do also, remind you, have 2 calls for me to help you out. And
Absolutely.
in terms of, just to let you know ahead of time, I picked up Splatoon 1 at launch. I played Splatoon 1. I did not buy Splatoon 2, but I know a good bit about it. So, fairly confident, but not extremely confident.
And as Cam also pointed out last week, and I want to reiterate, we do not pick questions that we ourselves would not know typically.
Oh, okay.
And for your reference, Nick, I have bought Splatoon 1 for the Wii U on a Black Friday sale and then left it in the wrapping for about 6 months, only to play it for about half an hour as a joke to convince myself to play Splatoon 2, which I put a more significant amount of time into.
Okay.
So, my focus is on Splatoon 2, but there was a problem here. My personal rule was 1 Wikipedia article. That way he doesn't have to search through these wild, massive essays and torture himself about handheld consoles. Cough. But in this situation, there was no Splatoon series Wikipedia article. There's Splatoon and Splatoon 2. So most of these questions can be answered simply by looking at Splatoon. However, there could be some information you can get a question right by looking at the second article. Is there anything else that we can think of before we dig right into it?
No, I'm ready to hopefully lose.
So at the risk of being immediately sued by any kind of copyright infringement, right now probably Splatoon 2 music or Splatoon music is playing very quietly in the background. One of my favorite types of music I've ever heard from a Nintendo game. It's just so wacky and I love it. But let's get into it. Question number 1, potentially a multiple choice depending on honor and dignity. And I like to give some backstory to each one of these ones. Splatoon was developed by Nintendo's Entertainment Analysis and Development Division for the Wii U in 2015 and focused on the domination through controlling areas with ink. This programmer, who had previously worked on games in the Animal Crossing franchise, was said to have created the concept. Who was this person?
Huh.
Wait, Tyler, I thought you said you were only putting in questions that you knew beforehand.
I would like to think that I knew this person. Are you not saying that's the case? I didn't know he was the person that did it.
Oh, I was gonna say I was just calling you out for fun.
No, it's okay. You can call me out. I deserve that one. Let me look at the rest of these. Okay. Question number 1, probably wouldn't have known. Question number 5, I should have known, but let's be real. Question 2 to 3, we're in the hat, so we're good here. Okay, so anyways, Nick, buddy, how's it going?
So I'm gonna take my shot with this. I know, again, as we've learned over the last few weeks, names are not my best forte, or not my strength. But this guy's name is Shintaro Sato.
Sato. I would say Sato, but as I'm sure you can guess, yes, you are correct. That is very correct. You honor intact. Shintaro Sato was the person that and the Wikipedia article that apparently it had come up the concept of instead of shooting each other to death with bullets and whatnot, use ink. And ink is a double feature to where you can cover territory and whatnot, which is the more important aspect of the main game, or the main multiplayer game in this case. So good job. Question number 1 is yours. You got 2 more to go. Question number 2. Which of these games is not an online multiplayer game in the original Splatoon game? And obviously, I can't tell you, guess without any multiple choice because I said not. So which of these 4 is not an online multiplayer game in the original Splatoon game? A, Splat Zones. B, Rainmaker. C, Battle Dojo. Or D, Turf Wars. Is there any glass shining coming your way, Cam, just in case?
Yep, Shing.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
You just wanted to see if Nick was confident before you suggested anything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, modesty. I'll take that.
I'm pretty sure it's either C or D, and I'm gonna go with D, Turf Wars.
D, Turf Wars. Okay. We all set with the answers then?
Yes.
Okay. That answer, D, Turf Wars, was in fact an online multiplayer game. It is actually the default game for both Splatoon and Splatoon 2. That's really what you play when you try to cover the entire map.
So was it Splat Zones that was wrong then?
Splat Zone was A, and that also is an online multiplayer game. The game that was not an online multiplayer game was called Battle Dojo. That was a local multiplayer game.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about Battle Dojo, and I'm like, that seems familiar. I know Splat Zones was like one of them, and then Rainmaker because it's unusual, or like at least name-wise thematically unusual. I was like, that's probably that. I remember that. So okay.
So 1 win, 1 loss. Yeah, that's still pretty good. Plus, you got 2 strikes in the hat for Cam if you need it.
Yep.
Question number 3. This does not have multiple choice, no matter what. Sorry. This is where the Splatoon 2 idea comes in. What are the names of the Squid Sister idols in Splatoon or Splatoon 2?
Ooh.
I'll let you pick from either of those pair. So I'm sure you guys they're separate pairs. So I'll let you decide which ones you want to do.
Okay, so I know one of them starts with an M, and the other one starts with a C.
Do you want backup?
Yes, I was gonna call you in here, Cam.
All right, so I would say, God, I think I know both, but I'm very, very, very confident.
If you want a bonus point, go ahead.
I know Splatoon 2 is Pearl and Marina, and I think Splatoon 1's Callie and Marie is what I think. I think those are.
Yeah,
but I'm very more confident about Splatoon 2 than I am about 1 for that one.
So did you say Pearl and Marina?
Yeah.
See, Callie and Marie sounds right to me, and I want to go with that.
Yeah, that was Splatoon 1, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Just so I'm understanding the question clearly, could you repeat the question, Tyler? Is that okay?
Sure. What are the names of, and I say this in quotes, what are the names of the Squid Sister idols in Splatoon or Splatoon 2? So basically, I need a pair of names from either of the games. I'll let you decide which one you want to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with, I'm trusting my gut here, and hopefully it's got me through some rough exams. I'll say Callie and Marie.
Okay, and that answer is correct. That is for Splatoon 1. It's the joke is they call her Kali in Japanese, but obviously for us it's Callie because Kali Mari, as in squid or octopus, I believe.
That's funny. I get it.
And of course, for
and then you have Pearl and Marina, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, they completely changed it. They're like, oh, these people are not together at all. Because
there's a different reference there, but
oh yeah, okay, sure. So Callie Mari are considered Squid Sisters in the first game, but in the second game, they're called Squid Idols. That's why I said in quotation marks Squid Sister Idols. I didn't want to cause any confusion, but you guys had it on the mark. So you got 2 wins, 1 loss. So this should be pretty easy for you. Okay, question number 4. What is the source of power for Inkopolis, the Inkling City hub? Do you want honor and dignity in answering on the first shot, or do you want multiple choice?
I believe it's the Great Sapfish.
Okay, is that your final answer?
That is indeed my final answer.
Well, I'm very upset. That is correct. I figured that was going to be easy. I looked at this freaking article like, wow, it's less than like 1,000 words. Oh, boy. But I figured I should, make it one of the choices. Good job checking that out. That is correct, and that does give you a 3rd win.
Nice.
However, for some reason, I made a note here. Question number 5. If you get this wrong, you lose a point. Oh, that's
what?
Okay, let's
put that
okay,
there. Oh,
let's,
gosh,
let's do that.
let's put it into hard mode.
You got my help too.
Yes, you do, and this
All
is
right.
your specific field. In the end of March of 2018, how big were the sales worldwide for the original Splatoon?
March 2018.
2018, well after Splatoon 2.
Can I ask a question? Is that the most recent number they have?
As in regards to the Wikipedia article, yes.
Okay.
Splatoon or Splatoon 2?
Splatoon 1. Now, mind you, it says March of
help you
2018, which is almost half a year past Splatoon 2 coming out.
How close do we have to be?
Cam, you are the numbers expert. I will regard this to you. How close do you think you should be?
I mean, you could use the rule I was using, but
I would say
that's tougher with I know it's in well, I'll put it this way, I know it's in the single digit millions, so that's tougher with that.
Within 1 million. How about
within
that?
1 million? Okay. I can help you here, I think, if you want, Nick.
If it's Splatoon 1, and I'm just gonna say this really quick. I not explicitly, but I sort of mentioned or wanted it for it to be a little challenging, so I did look up the sales numbers.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I'm pretty sure it's
Wait, can I guess? Can I guess to see if I'm right before you answer with the correct answer?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Splatoon 1 now is somewhere.
It's God. Wow, that's a hot take.
I want to say high
Cam
fours.
thinks it's better than Peach Please Splash You calls it God.
I'm going high fours, low fives for my guess.
Okay.
So from the Wikipedia article, I might have been at the wrong place, but Splatoon 1 was at 3.97 and Splatoon 2 was at 6.73.
Yeah, I know Splatoon 2.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with 3.97.
Okay. And that is your final answer? You're going to disregard Cam?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That is actually... Whew. Nick put his own confidence in numbers over Cam right now. And the number that I give you for March of 2018 is 4.93 million.
I was wrong. Cam was right. Yeah,
Whoa!
I was wrong.
However,
I was getting the numbers mixed up.
You said 3.97. That is within 1 million by
that is something else.
0.04.
This is just sheer luck.
Woo!
So
Yeah.
instead of getting your negative,
I don't know why I made the mistake of disregarding Cam. I was just so confident, and I got the number wrong by 1.
And Cam was like, "This is dead eye level accuracy. High 9s, low 5s, 4.93." Like,
I knew Splatoon 2 was in 6.
Yeah.
I knew Splatoon 1 was a little bit under it because it wasn't the best selling, but I knew it was their second best IP for like years after
Yes,
Wii.
It was the
after
most
Wii Sports, it was the
yeah,
most successful IP.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, given that, it has to be. Yeah, all right, cool.
Amazing. Almost 5 million out of the 13 million of the Wii U consoles. The fact that it got that high percentage.
Yep.
So I want to point out that Cam did accuracy and recognition of low 5, high 4. He did what Twitch could not with Cam, and with Nick in terms of 2.97. He understood
that's why that number was stuck in my head.
Hey, that actually could have been that. You're not wrong. That might have been on the right thought there.
Ooh.
So you did get the point there. That is $20 coming your way. The last I checked, you were at 195. So I believe this puts you at 215.
Getting
you
there.
Are over 2/3 of the way towards the Switch, or I guess whatever you use the money on once it goes your way, because you can totally just say, "I'm gonna buy a Vita."
Yeah, if you buy a Vita with that,
no, I'd rather buy a Switch.
I would personally beg you, just take my Vita, just get a Switch, please.
Do that too. Take Tyler's Vita.
So, did you hear about? I believe it might have been the people from PS I Love You XOXO. Was it Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty?
Greg, I know Greg Miller.
They did something, I believe, it might have been them, called the PS Vita, like some kind of program where if you stop playing your Vita, mail it to them, and they'll have a list of people who couldn't afford a Vita and mail it out to them, like a refurbishing,
that's so cool
adoption service. And
I felt that way for a long time.
Like it's like I love the Vita and all that stuff, but it needs to, let's find it a good home if we're done with it.
Yeah, no, I used to for people's birthdays and Christmas, I used to buy them the PS TVs, which were only $40.
Yeah.
And it was basically a Vita in a micro console. And I used to buy that as a gift and just give them out. But at the same time, I'm like, I see them all not getting used now. And I'm like, no, they need a happy home. That's one thing that resonates with me deeply. Is one of the reasons why I originally refurbished consoles and would fix them is because I wanted them to be used and actually have a happy home.
Right, let them be loved by another person. Don't let them get collected and enter dust.
Good job, Greg Miller. Good job, PS guys.
I believe that's them. Hopefully, I'm not giving the credit to the wrong people here.
I'm pretty sure Greg Miller is with PS I Love You because I know he shows up at
They
PlayStation
were originally.
Experience. Yeah.
They both split off after a while. Greg Miller, obviously, he's still a part of IGN, I believe, but he's doing his own thing. And I believe Brian Altano and a couple other people had taken over the PS I Love You XOXO before it went into the ground a second time permanently.
Oh, yeah. I never
actually
listened
no.
to it.
That's incorrect. Brian Altano had gone over to PS Beyond.
Oh, okay.
PS I Love You XOXO just simply burnt to the ground, and Moriarty and Miller just split ways.
Yeah, I've never listened to it or whatever it was. I assume it was a podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they would show up and have a panel at PlayStation Experience sometimes and talk about stuff. So I'd usually just watch that.
It was a good show, and it was kind of upsetting that just randomly disappeared on anywhere. Now, if I say the word mochi, Nick, would I be correct?
I think it's mochi personally, but
I personally think it's mochi too.
Yeah.
But it's just I noticed that one of our podcasters who's just randomly dipped out of screen, and now I see him chipmunking.
Mind you, this is the only thing I've eaten today so far.
Okay,
so.
I won't call you out. Oh, actually, never mind. I already did, but it was funny. Okay, jeez.
No.
So, congratulations again, the Nick.
Thank you very much.
You're at 215. That means you are technically 4-5. I mean, if you hit 295, I'm going to give you the $5 for a freebie. I'll find deposit bottles somewhere because in Michigan I can get 10% per bottle.
So 215 US dollars is equal to 280 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
And a Switch, the last time I checked, is about 379 before tax. I would probably have no problem like covering tax, or at least like the last 20-30 bucks. So we're getting close.
Yep.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure if like they made it more expensive through the Canadian thing. Obviously, currency exchange, but it was $5 if I were to purchase it for 300 plus tax and then have it shipped to the Canada. So 305 plus tax essentially. So if that if that's 330 total.
It just might be, right? Or me just going across even to Seattle to getting it there.
Yeah,
that's another thing you could do because
and then we save on shipping expenses too.
Smuggle Switches into Canada. Yeah.
Oh man, are we about to suggest smuggling?
No,
Switches
all I have to do is just stay there for 2 days, and then my allowance for what I can bring back increases.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's like the longer you
there's
stay,
a shopping
the more
allowance.
you can bring
Yeah.
back.
So if you're going for if you're there for 24 hours, I think it's $100 per person in general, where they're not going to tax you. Yeah. And then based on like how much you bought, what you bought, why you bought it, who you are, they'll tax you accordingly. Like you can't bring anything more than a bottle of alcohol or like a 12-pack of beers without paying tax. But I did that close to Christmas where I bought a crate of beer because a crate of beer was equivalent to a 6-pack for me over here sometimes, depending on the brand. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, so it was Coors for a full 24 crate of Coors for $11.50, and over here a full 6-pack of Corona is fucking $13.
Oh,
$13.
No, you get excited
for a pack of Corona.
I don't know if you have to worry about that though, Nick, because I don't think they've rolled out the Switch sniffing dogs yet on the border. So you might.
I wouldn't have to, but
like in the tire well, and then they'll never find it. They can't sniff it out. They can only sniff out PS4s. For
very particular reasons, anytime I'm crossing into the States or back from the States, I particularly get nervous.
No,
so I avoid. Being,
why would you get nervous, Nick?
Shifty or nervous for any reason. So I would. I tend to be quite upfront on what I'm carrying and what I'm bringing to or from.
Those video game smuggling dogs can only smell PS4s. Could be okay.
And PS Vitas because they're so rare nowadays.
All those dogs are dead, unfortunately, but
it's like uranium.
Just don't get any copies of ARMS because the scores for that stink so badly. Even the dogs can pick it up. So
I can't even watch gameplay of ARMS. That's how bad I think it is.
So, do they keep track of what you leave with and what you come back with?
I mean, I would imagine
if you just had a Switch in your backpack, you're like, oh, I had this the entire time. LOL. Like,
I mean, I would imagine, but it depends. Like, I go across this particular area enough where there's just like, oh, what are you going down for? Oh, I'm headed to see my cousin. Like, all right, have a good day, stamp, and then I'm good to go. Right. So I just don't want to. I just don't want to take any chances because there can always be the one-off.
Because the one time that you're like, did you pay Canadian taxes on that Switch? And they see the sweat bead just kind of drop a little bit, and like, we're gonna hold you up for 48 hours. No, at least
that would actually be the worst.
Well, they got me crossing the Canadian border once because my iPod was connected to like a thing that I used to run it through my radio, and I had it up in the light fixture. So like there's just a wire hanging down, basically.
Oh no!
Yeah, so there's just a wire hanging between the top of my car and the bottom, and I did get stopped for that, and they're like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just my iPod, just music."
Oh gosh, I've never crossed into the Canadian border before. I've never entered Canada.
You're missing out.
I'm very frustrated because I have what they call an enhanced license. Basically, I'm not sure if it's different in other states, but in Michigan, an enhanced license you can use as in lieu of a passport. Mm-hmm. Like I had to pass a bunch of background checks and whatnot, but basically, it shows it's enhanced. It has my fancy information on the back that they can look up instantly at the borders. Still haven't done it because I don't want to go there by myself just in case shit goes awry. And that's like if I got in trouble in Canada, it's like, man, if
all you have to do is, "Oh, sorry about that, bud," and then you're good to go.
Yeah, just say
an apology letter.
Yeah, a very large apology letter.
No, they'd write you the apology letter.
Oh, yeah. They write you. We're very sorry for the circumstances of holding you out for those 5 minutes. We really hope sincerely that next time you reconsider you're breaking the law or whatnot, you tried using American dollars and refused to accept a receipt or some crap. Okay. Anyways, the main reason is I want to go with my wife. Wife doesn't have any kind of passport or anything, so she would get stopped at the border. Whoops. So, anyways, let's talk about video games.
Yeah, let's do that.
Guys, I like video games.
Guys, we had a Nintendo Direct happen a few days ago.
Yeah, we did.
And I would say it's big, but to me, I really didn't care for it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna preface this with I was not very impressed by it at all. Because there was a couple of stuff that pretty much we knew, kind of some clarity, and one more thing, just kind of like
it was a meh Direct in terms of just overall I think appeal and presentation. There were what they decided to do was make it seem artificially big by talking about every single game that's coming out, even if it's been announced for months. So in terms of new announcements, the really only big things there were some new indies, but the big thing was like Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes, that was a big heavy hitter in the middle.
And then Animal Crossing 2019, really. And then some stuff leaked early. Crystal Chronicles leaked early, but we saw that. All of the World of Final Fantasy coming over, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, and FF7, 9, 10, 10-2, and 12.
Wow, it sounds like you're missing a number there. What's going on there?
And so funny story about that. They're missing 8, and I think I know why. And we talked a little bit about game preservation a few weeks back, and I talked about this on Twitter. I'm very confident in the fact that Square probably lost their source code for Final Fantasy VIII.
They forgot it.
They lost it twice for 7. They've lost it twice. So when they were making the PC version in 97, they gave an unfinished build to the team because they didn't know where the real finished one was. They were like, "Oops, we lost it. Work with this."
And then berries.
In 2014, 2015, when they re-released it again for PC, Steam, and PS4, they called the dude from 97 and was like, "Hey, do you guys have that master copy? Because we don't." So they probably don't have it. That's all I'm saying.
Just to further expand on that viewpoint, they have Final Fantasy VII out on Android. You can buy it for $15. Great price point, by the way. God damn. But I realized, and what I think they did is they took the PS1 ROM and then shelled it into their own emulator onto the thing. And it runs so terribly, and it was just frustrating how terrible it was. And then, so after that, immediately, I downloaded the ROM, got my own PS emulator on the Android, and it ran perfectly fine. But the one I paid for was terrible. Like, just fucking disgusting with how bad it was.
That's probably because it was based on the PC version from 97, which they wasn't built on the master copy in the first place, and they had to actually finish the game for Square because it wasn't done. And there was, sections that were left out and sections that were in that got cut. It was a mess. And that's why I'm honestly like, with 9, they learned. We know they have the master copy of 9. We've seen that before, but I don't think they have it for 8. There's also some concern about the vocal track in the game, but that is really just a music licensing thing where they just would have omitted it. They wouldn't have not put in the game. So I really think they just don't have it.
Cam, why don't you just tell us how you really feel?
That Squall's dead. Is that how I really feel? No.
For me, a pleb who doesn't really pay attention to Nintendo Directs a lot, what seemed to be the biggest, and I think you already mentioned, was the Animal Crossing confirmation, and then the Nintendo Online, which has been a meme this entire time, and I don't know why it didn't come out at launch, because how much for a company like Nintendo, how much capital do you actually need to get an online system set up? That's probably not that complicated in this day and age, but they're probably just forcing people to buy their system more and more, and then like, we made enough money finally, and now we can make an online system.
Hey, Tyler, are we past the hour mark by any chance?
We are 100% past the hour mark.
Wonderful. Nintendo has made every fucking worst decision they possibly could in regards to online. And literally every negative decision. And I'm going to yell at them on many different platforms for it over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. I'm shitting on them real hard for it.
Also, there's been a lot of like excitement for Katamari.
Yeah.
And can somebody explain why?
Katamari Damacy was a PS2 game, and it was a very, very bizarre title for the time. It was very unique from what a lot of people were playing at the time, but everybody got it. It was a big cult hit, and you basically just roll around and you roll stuff up, and the ball gets bigger and bigger, and you can then pick up bigger stuff. There's many Flash games, Newgrounds games that work like it, but it's just a quirky Japanese game that everybody likes.
It's a shitty arcade game that gained popularity.
Katamari's fine, Tyler. It's fine.
It's okay in retrospect, but a full price game, no. Like if it was like a $10, $15 game that you played on the PSP, yes, that's fine. And I believe it did come out on the PSP, but like I was happy with that kind of idea, but playing it like fully on, oh boy, Cam's giving me the
well, no, I'm thinking because we love Katamari was a sequel, and I don't know if that was the PSP game, or I don't remember what happens after that, or if there was a port or what.
Well, my point is playing it on a home console game, it didn't sit with me right. Now, obviously people enjoyed it, whatnot, but it just didn't hit me the right vibes. Like I put Katamari in the same boat as Loco Roco.
Okay, that's fair. No, that's
Loco Roco I enjoyed. It was weird, but I also did play it on handheld once again. Obviously, I played the remaster in PS4 and it was okay, but it just had like that same what note quirky feel to it that expanded a little bit, but it's like I think it was the King specifically. I felt like it was almost a Japanese meme just waiting to happen. Like, oh, look at me, I'm the king. I might have screwed up a little bit, LOL. And it just didn't sit with me. But yes, you said Luigi's Mansion 3, working title, is coming out. Plus, they did announce, I believe, Luigi's Mansion, the first one, is coming back on the 3DS.
They had announced that previously, so we knew a bunch of other stuff was getting ported. That's why a lot of people expected 3.
Did they mention 2-player mode, though?
No, that was new.
That was new. Yep. You can now play with 2 Luigis, or Luigi and Luigi's Shade, which is really his existence whenever it's a non-Luigi game, pretty much like Green Mario blur over here. So you can now play as multiplayer if you own both the copies, and if you only have one copy, then you can play the boss rush mode essentially together.
Yep. There was another thing from the Direct, a little company, not sure many people have heard of it, called Game Freak. They are making a game.
I've never heard of Game Freak.
They're making an interesting game called.
Have you not heard of Tembo the Badass Elephant?
Yeah, have you not heard of Giga Breaker? Oh God. Anyway, Game Freak's making a wonderful RPG called Town for 2019. And why do I have feelings about that? Because Game Freak's known for another little game, Pokemon, the entire Pokemon series, everything. Absolutely.
I've never heard of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can you please tell me about Pokemon?
Well, the really fun thing here, the really interesting thing here is just a thought maybe is, we look at these new games coming out. Let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. Then you look at Town, and then you look at this alleged 2019 game.
At the beginning of the game?
No, then you look at that alleged 2019 Pokemon game, and I'm like, I wonder how all these pieces fit together, and I wonder how this is going to turn out horribly for us in the end.
Where the fuck is my mainstream core RPG Pokemon game?
Said every hardcore Pokemon person ever, probably after the stream, just shouting.
That's all I
Well,
want.
here's the thing. They had a big hiring, like they have like 300 employees, so they can work on different projects. However, that being the case, I don't trust Game Freak to work on multiple projects because they keep cutting content.
And also, like, even if you like, at least
They have
you
a
might not
resource
trust them,
problem.
but okay, sure. We can work on multiple projects, but tell us something.
They also,
How does
I'm saying, I don't even know if they can. I think they have a resource problem. They cut content from games, even given the fact they weren't working on something like this previously, they've cut content. So it's like, you clearly have a problem. So what's going on here? And the other thing, just want to say as a joke, they sell a feature of the game as taking place in one town exclusively. And I'm like, I don't think that's a feature. I think that's more a Game Freak limitation. But yeah, no,
And also, I did want to point something out from sitting on the sidelines for a lot of the Nintendo Directs. When I read this part of the article, and I'm going to read it out.
Yep.
Game Freak, the developers behind Pokemon, is creating a brand new RPG with the working title of Town. The entire story of the game takes place in a village which you protect from monsters with tactical battle commands and the aid of villagers. I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys. But to me, that sounds an awful lot like Digimon.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, Digimon.
You're
I was
right.
thinking Monster Rancher, but you know what? Digimon's a good one.
maybe Monster Hunter Stories, maybe, but I don't know. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, so one thing I do want to say, this is the long shot, 2% chance. 2% chance we're
2%
actually
chance,
being
okay.
tricked right now, and this is a Pokemon game.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, that's the only.
The reason I say that is because Nintendo's done that before. If you guys remember, Project Guard and Project Giant Robot during the Wii U ended up being Star Fox games. And they show them off like, no, these are completely new, not Star Fox games at all. That monster at the beginning,
Sakurai at a 2% chance probability.
well, I'm just saying that monster at the beginning looked kind of generic to me. And I'm like, what if that was a placeholder? And this is a test for the graphics engine.
Flying type or something like
What
that.
if this is a test for the engine? But that's a very small shot. I think this is a game. I'm just concerned about their resource management in regards with that. So conflicted about that one.
So this one kind of settled with me almost the right way, because usually I see these games, I go, Daemon X Machina. It's a popular, kind of popular, at least to me it is, mech fighting game.
Yeah, it's popular to me.
I'm gonna say to me, like I fell in love with it. I believe this might have been the same game series that employed the mech from Code Geass.
So, well, no, Daemon X Machina, I think is
Is it
new.
strictly? Okay,
Daemon
it's
X
new.
Machina is new,
I
but
think I'm thinking of some other mech game that did something similar then.
you are, because this is the Armored Core team.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this
Fair
was
enough.
almost entirely the Armored Core team.
So they make their own types of mechs then, right? They wouldn't import it from different other like stuff like Gundams or
I
whatnot?
don't think they are. No,
Okay.
most of them looks. I mean, there's sure probably some visual similarities and maybe some skins, but I don't know about. I haven't seen anything Code Geass necessarily yet.
It doesn't even matter because it looks fucking great,
it
and
does.
I really want to play it. It's like, oh my gosh.
I was on that from the get go. I was
And
like,
then
"Ooh."
like the guy hops out of the mech and it's like, hey, let's play Fortnite. It looks just like Fortnite. It just freaked me out.
Oh no.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So we also know that the Untitled Yoshi game is now called Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yep, that one leaked a little bit early, unfortunately, but yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't remember if it was from this or from something else. I thought I saw something that looked like Final Fantasy Mystery Dungeon.
Yep, that was Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. I believe it
Chocobo's
was
Mystery
like
Dungeon. Yes,
2007
everybody.
or something like that. Yeah, that they're redoing there.
So
I
how
mean,
do you
I'm
feel
always
about that?
happy. I'm always here's the thing. It's like, all right, how do I really feel about it? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon when is how I really feel about it.
Oh
But
gosh.
I feel jilted in that way, but at the same time, I'm not against it. Like the one thing is this direct had a lot of stuff for me as an RPG player in terms of getting ported, but there's altogether mostly ports going on here. A couple new game announcements, but you know, Luigi's Mansion we saw a little bit of, but again, Animal Crossing was really just a title screen, and that works sometimes. So like Metroid 4, we didn't know Metroid was going to be made. So that was always like, will they make it? Cool. It's fun to get confirmation, but everybody knew that an Animal Crossing was being made. So that's not as exciting to me, even though it's one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, but like, we know it's coming. We know it's coming because it's a standard thing.
I have seen video footage of what people do when they react to seeing Animal Crossing coming to the Switch. It was, I believe Discord themselves had a video of one of their developers seeing this and then jumping up and started slamming her hand on the table multiple times before doing some pseudo jumping jacks and shouting and cheers.
Yeah, don't do that.
Say,
I've never actually played Animal Crossing, so I don't understand the hype.
It's a comfy town builder.
It's the
like
game you should be playing after
farming.
playing too much Overwatch.
I play Rune Factory, so
Okay.
I'm that guy.
I guess for me, I really liked Animal Crossing when it came out for us. Like it came out for the 64 in Japan, but it never actually got to us in that shape because I believe they wanted to do 64 DD, and that was a fiasco. So we got it for the GameCube. And the nice thing for us was you get 4 different houses in this neighborhood that other people like at different points in time could play. So, for example, I would have me and 3 other friends at a house. This guy would take a day for this day, and they would play and collect stuff for their house. They decorate it a certain way, pass on the controller. Then we play our day, and it was just a real comfy go feel game. But at the same time, if you think about that, you got 3 people that aren't playing and enjoying themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they decided to push it towards the 3D, or sorry, the DS and the 3DS, it was much more of a happy-go-lucky. You don't really have to do anything. We just got this crippling death on top of you that has no interest whatsoever, and we'll get a raccoon that'll just murder your ass if you don't pay eventually, but not really. Also, don't forget to save your game before you shut it off. Otherwise, terrible things will happen to you.
Dark things, yes.
Dark things. Nick, have you ever heard of a character called Mr. Rossetti?
Rossetti?
Mr. Rossetti.
Yes.
It's a little mole-like ground. Well, it's a mole with a hard hat and a very grumpy attitude. He was more comical than anything, and I'm just bringing this up as a side story. Mr. Rossetti was funny because you had to save before you could leave the game every single time in the original Animal Crossing. And if you were just to say, oh, I'm going to turn it off halfway through the game without specifically saving and quitting, Mr. Rossetti would appear. And Mr. Rossetti was a PG-13 vulgar, well, no, PG vulgar Rossetti character who would just berate you to the ends of the earth every single time you didn't hit it. Sometimes he was sympathetic, but he was like the angry father when you accidentally hit a fire hydrant with the car. It's like, I understand, I've made mistakes too, but you are a goddamn idiot. What are you doing? Why wouldn't you save? And then he'd start to get even worse. He'd be like, if you keep the shit up, I'm going to erase your save file. And there was, he'll be like, all right, I'm erasing it. Screen go to black. A couple of seconds later, it pop back up. I was just kidding this time, motherfucker. But I swear next time. Legitly, though, if you do it enough times, he will erase your game file permanently. And that's
great.
It takes a lot of times. Like, I think in the hundreds of, consistently doing this. But he will eventually snap and say, you know what? No more Mr. Nice Rossetti. I'm going to delete your file. And he turned into a meme about, always save before you quit, whatnot. And he is pretty prominent in the later ones, but in the first one specifically, he was there to let you know. I do believe in the later ones, they do something along the lines of Mr. Rossetti went to Anchor Management for the 5 years it took to, go to this version of the game. But yes, it's pretty much collecting cool stuff, Nintendo-themed stuff, which, if you want to have a cool Pokemon-themed house and have a cute Pikachu doll in the corner and that's your thing, by all means. Like, this is probably what the secret bases in Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby should have been. And, you could do secret bases, it was cool and stuff, but no one really interacted unless, you linked with somebody for a day and then you can face against them offline, which was a cool feature, Cam. Did you ever have the luck of doing something like that?
No, I barely played Animal Crossing.
I meant with Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, with Ruby and Sapphire, in
like
terms of
I did traded with somebody. Their base would appear, and you could fight a computer version of themselves with their Pokemon.
Yes, yes.
But okay, enough rambling about Animal Crossing. Hooray for those who are excited! I know there was a lot of people that were just fists up their own butt excited, and it was good for them.
It's an enormous franchise. Like, everybody, I think, who isn't into it doesn't, and most people who are don't understand. I think it's Nintendo's like 3rd or 4th highest grossing. I think it's really up there.
I wouldn't doubt it because, like, when people think of like big franchises, they think like Zelda, Mario. Yeah. Now Mario's obviously up there, but first one is always Pokemon.
Yep.
Pokemon is their highest grossing thing because they got movies, they got trading cards, they got.
It's the highest grossing thing of all time, so there is that.
That too.
Just media in general.
And so we got that. I don't know what would sell more, Animal Crossing or Zelda, but I have a feeling it's probably Animal Crossing. Just in my heart.
Zelda's numbers are lower than you'd think. Even if you look at the Switch sales, Breath of the Wild is not the #1 game. I think it's actually number 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it from Mario Kart 8 maybe, and then
Yeah, no, it's behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which constantly gets me miffed because the thing that pisses me off about that.
Oh, are we about to do a myth minute?
Yeah, we are. We're doing a myth minute. Yeah,
myth mix and Mary.
Yeah,
That
right.
sounds myth minute sounds like something else. But anyways, carry on.
What really just pisses me off is I can't believe. So, like, I played the Wii U. I bought the Wii U, and I was a big Wii U supporter. And I can't believe that Mario Kart 8 will just get remastered and become like the second or first best-selling game on the system. That kind of messes with me. I'm like, you bought a full-priced port, and it's the best-selling thing. Like, play something new, please.
I mean, ever since it came out, I believe on the Super Nintendo, Mario Kart has been one of the highest selling games on each of their consoles every single time. Yep. But you're right; they essentially, ported over the majority of the last game. And
well, it's Mario Kart 8. It's just the deluxe version.
Yeah. Like I said, like at least 89% of the code was the same exact thing, maybe shined up a little bit more, but let's be real.
DLC. And yeah, that messes me up. I'm a little bit pissed about that. I'll never really get over that one. But one thing I do want to say too about the Direct is I'm continually feeling insulted by Pokemon, as usual, about Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu Eevee. And this time it was strange because on one hand, it was a matter of like, all right, so they're calling their moves. So the Pokemon don't use HMs; they use secret techniques, and they also, in addition to that, they didn't show them off fully, but there's like these moves that are called like, oh God, they're called like Fuzzy Wuzzy, and they're moves that are like meant to be the fire move, the water move, the grass move, that sort of thing. But they're called like Fuzzy Wuzzy or Bubbly Wubbly or whatever, right? And it's just like I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable being it called that, and like. The dude in this Direct, right? They showed the cut animation, and he just hopped up and down, and like his arms didn't move or anything. He just hopped, and the cut happened. And I'm just like, please, just make a game. Like, why are you cheating? Why are you cheating like this, man? Just make a real game.
I feel you, man. Honestly, like I saw the moment of where the guy's supposed to teach you HM01 cut, the captain of the SSN, I believe it was, and it just threw me off. I was like, oh. It's now a secret technique. Okay, sure. Plus, also with Eevee or Pikachu, you can give them a cool haircut now. So if you want to have Sparky, and if you want to have Sparky from anime and whatnot, or if you want a cool looking Eevee, which it's going to be very difficult. They're going to need a lot of cool hairstyles. So, oh well. Anyways,
can I just say something?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't give a fuck about Let's Go at all.
Cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
I still have to buy it, unfortunately. I'm brainwashed, but
let's say I'll probably still buy it too. But that's how I am. But don't worry, you don't have to worry about this. We will cleanse your hands, as you're obviously a huge fan of Pokemon. Out of all the Nintendo franchises, Pokemon is that's your hat.
Yeah,
we will cleanse your hands and understand that you don't have to touch that game. I can't blame you one bit.
I respect it.
I
wish I could.
You
I say that, but I most likely will end up getting it around Christmas time.
Yeah, just wait a month.
Nick, you lived in Pokemon. We were born by it, raised by it. No, I'm just messing.
I was.
I was born with a group of Puchienas, and I was raised as a Mariana.
I was never the same after they gave me Pokemon. I really wasn't. Never the same. It's all I talked about at school when I was very, very young. It became a problem with the teachers and stuff like that. So yeah, I was raised by it, very much so.
Okay.
Anyways, so also City Skylines coming out to Switch today. Oh, not today. Sorry. Actually, yeah, it did come out for Switch today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, a couple of days ago when it came out. And they talked about stuff that we kind of knew already about Super Smash Bros. Gonna come with a special bundle with Ultimate. That'll come a sweet Microsoft Paint sticker on design on the side of it. And I actually no. Let me back up a little bit here, because that focus was actually on Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, where they have Eevee and Pikachu on the side of it, as well as fancy designs, as well as interesting looking schematics for controllers and whatnot. So that was interesting. But for the Direct specifically, they announced that not only do they have a Pokemon themed one, they now have a Super Smash Bros. One.
Hey.
And so I just want to say a couple of things. I'm not sure if you guys looked at it when they did this. The stylized Nintendo Switch console, the design on it looks okay. It's basically the art, put on the sides of it, whatnot. It's okay. The controller, the Joy-Con controller and the grip. They're like, we're gonna offer you a Super Smash Brothers cool design, unique, and they show 2 goddamn lines.
They did it
for the 2 lines, no design beyond that, just zoop zoop, vertical, horizontal. This is the exclusive Super Smash Bros. Joy-Con, like you wouldn't. I'm like, I'm looking at, I looked at my wife. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, I felt that too.
Okay, look, they weren't wrong. So you have to understand that there's 2 things happening here. They were right that it's an exclusive design that's being offered by them. The fact is that it's shit.
Yep.
I could take a scalpel and run it along my Joy-Con.
Tyler, I know you could, but they
did it for you.
They are offering you an exclusive design, so they're not wrong. But but the fact that it's a shit design is different from the fact whether or not they're right or wrong.
Yep.
It's weird. I don't know if they'll sell this separately, because knowing them, they probably won't.
Well, I mean, luckily too. I mean, just friggin', it's the Joy-Cons and the Switch dock, 2 products that aren't the main console. So you can just, you know what I mean? Like,
true. That is true. That is very true. It's a lot easier to jump, essentially. I just want to point out at the same time, it's like, they're going to offer me this cool exclusive thing that was either black or gray, that they scalpeled a little bit, a square inch off of each thing. And then the Pokemon side, they went all out where they gave you a completely color thematics for Eevee and Pikachu on each side, which I still am okay with trash talking, because I believe I described it as the Eevee one looks like it's the jelly bean you wouldn't eat as a child.
No, it's the pee-pee poo-poo system.
And the Pikachu one looked like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you just say?
It's the pee-pee poo-poo system.
What the
piss and shit colored?
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
I killed Nick with that one. Oh.
Man, now I'm gonna decide between Switch immigration or Switch smuggling from Canada, or fucking pee poo poo system for the episode title.
Well, see, it enables the smuggling, because you have to hide things when you smuggle, and luckily it's already that color.
Yeah, you got to use the pee poo poo system in order to smuggle the Switches into Canada.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I've never heard of that.
It's always fucking little things that'll get me.
No, I respect that.
A real Yukiko moment there. Jeez. I'm sorry, Nick. You wouldn't understand that. I'm very sorry.
Is it a Persona reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn right it is. It's like a super serious character that'll just laugh at a corny joke and just break down.
You know what? You're a real heiress sometimes.
I'm a real heiress?
Yeah. Heiress Morn, right? I did it.
Yeah. Nice, Cam.
Wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, it was a Destiny reference.
Oh, Destiny. Right. Oh, Eris. Eris?
She's not there in Destiny 2, so it's a D1 reference.
Oh, so no wonder why I wouldn't understand it. Okay.
Exactly, Tyler.
Gotcha.
Okay, how do you feel now when I make references about things in games that you wouldn't know of?
I can be on both sides of this one. Ha!
If we're gonna circle back to Destiny 2, I do have a question.
Yes.
Did you guys Tess Everis, I believe that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys realize about her voice actor?
No.
She is the same voice actor as, I believe her name is Chloe from Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
So when you think of, I'm not sure if you've ever played Uncharted, but Nadine is like, I believe from the third one, and the third one, technically the fourth one for a little bit, and then the Uncharted standalone where it's Chloe and Nadine.
Yeah, Lost Legacy.
Yes, Lost Legacy, where she's the snarky, smart one and all that stuff. And all of a sudden I hear her saying, "Welcome, Guardian. How's it going today?" And it's like, she's nice to me. I don't like this at all. Character break. And it's like, no, that's actually Tess Everis, Tyler. It's not Nadine. Like I did the fry. Not sure if Nadine or Tess Everis. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, is there anything else we want to talk about this Nintendo Direct? Any imposing thoughts about this overall?
A couple things weren't there, and I think we need updates on them. SMT5, which we saw at the Switch reveal, still hasn't been shown. Bayonetta 3, not there. No Metroid. I think we deserve a CG trailer or something at this point, and no Fire Emblem as well.
No Fire Emblem. That's
the thing. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, it seems, even from just skimming through the article, it doesn't seem anything spectacular. I guess they're just trying to buy time for whatever big announcement they might be building up to, if they're building up to something like that. Or there's just probably a bunch of really just stagnancy in terms of development updates.
Yeah, They're not getting. I know. Here's the thing: like Switch, And there's been a conversation going on for quite a few months, and Nintendo keeps positing the idea that they're going to ship 20 million Switch units this fiscal year. And on our side, on Into the Video Game, we believe that's not possible, and I continually believe that's not possible. I still believe that. This has not done anything to dissuade me.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, fair enough. I guess this is a hypothetical question. Very hypothetical question. It's not me really saying it. Asking for a friend, like I'm doing 3 different levels of disclaimer. Would this have been worth delaying due to an earthquake? Oh man, no response. Okay. No, you don't have to answer that one. Absolutely, the people of Japan are more.
I don't know if they took anything out. Like, here's the thing: there could have been an earthquake reference to a Pokemon using earthquake in the Let's Go section, and they could have taken that out. But
so it's just weird because Nintendo is not known for delaying games without very good reason, but I don't see like the why this time, because
it's likely employees. It's Nintendo employees probably had family in the area.
Okay,
and, maybe a lot of them, and that was the
Yeah, my first thought to anything that anybody might have done in terms of delaying things because of the earthquake would be just we have to deal with this situation first, not that we might necessarily be referencing things.
Yeah.
And I know what even joking about is kind of messed up in hindsight, but
no, but I mean, it's like a devil's advocate question. It can be fair to ask.
Ever seen Nintendo delay something due to a natural event, and this is the first time I did it, and it's like,
I have.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Well, not Nintendo, but Pokemon related things get delayed all the time for various political event reasons. Many episodes are banned because of things that happened right when they were about to come out. Many episodes got delayed and never came out, such as the infamous Team Rocket versus Team Plasma special in black and white in the anime. Didn't come out because of the Tohoku earthquake. It never came out.
Meanwhile, Niantic, with Hurricane Florence, I believe it is, tearing over into the East Coast, people are getting warnings on their phones saying, warning, there's a hurricane in this area. Warning, there's a hurricane. Niantic, new Pokemon may be appearing in the parks near you. This would be a great time to go out and explore. It's like,
oh, man.
And then there's a
Pokemon Go Extreme Edition.
I like it. Pokemon Go Dark Edition.
Of a person going out into the hurricane with his phone trying to catch a single Pokemon, and meanwhile he is like sliding across the asphalt trying to hold on for dear life, and he's just being blown away trying to catch a single Pokemon to see if he was right.
I wish my games told me to get myself killed more often. Yeah, that'd be a funny addition.
It's also interesting because at the same time, it's like you'll get on Pokemon Go, and if there's inclement weather within like 3,000 miles of you, it's like, you might be in danger. You got to click that I'm safe before you can play. That way you can't sue us. It's like, yes, I'm in dangerous weather. Blue skies around me, but it's okay.
It's 70 and partly cloudy out, and they're like, danger.
It's like, watch out.
Okay, and this is probably the last thing I'll say about Pokemon Go this week, but the worst thing about when I'm sitting at a restaurant and I open up Pokemon Go and it zip-zaps me across every single inch of the fucking continent, and it's like, you're driving too fast, slow down. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. What do you want from me? I'm a passenger, eh? I'm also just eating my sushi. Leave me alone. Let me catch these Pokemon.
Oh man, good times. I'm glad that we were able to wrap around not only on Destiny, but we were able to do Pokemon Go at the same time too. Man, we hit all the bases. I think that's pretty much it for the most part. We do have some game releases coming out over the next week. A lot more than what I would have expected. So coming out here, let's see, for September 18th, we have 3 games. We got Fishing Sim World, which I'm guessing is probably from Germany, for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. What? Let's be real. Every single simulator that I thought about that's developed by NASA.
Farming sim, truck sim,
fishing sim, probably from Germany. It's like, off of the lakes of Berlin, we're gonna try fishing today.
I knew my roommate was European when I came home one day and he was playing Euro Truck Simulator.
Of course.
Oh no. Man, American Truck Simulator, also probably from Germany, is where it's at, man.
So Tyler, can you tell me the name of this game one more time?
Fishing Sim World. Please confirm the developer country, please.
That's exactly what I'm doing, let me tell you.
Also coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch this time instead of the PC, we have Scribblenauts Mega Pack.
This is almost as good, but it's British.
Oh,
That's
okay.
no, that's close enough. That's fine.
Close enough.
Close enough.
It's like close enough. So Scribblenauts Mega Pack coming out PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Let's see. Also on the 18th, we have a game called 60 Parsecs coming out for PC. I've not heard of this one actually.
Same.
Okay, good. Anyways, Star Control Origins coming out for PC on the 20th. Okay, then. So also coming out on the 21st, we have two games. 8-Bit Armies for PS4 and Xbox One, which sounds interesting, but I'm sure it's something.
8-Bit Armies.
I'm gonna say 8-Bit Armies. Oh no, it's 16-bit. 3 out of 5. Ugh.
Tricked you.
Yeah, bait and switch right there. Or, sorry, bait and switch. I don't know. No, it's not coming out for the Switch. Never mind. Anyways, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, the Golden Country. I believe that's the DLC coming out for the Switch, also on the 21st.
So it's tricky. So get this, it's out.
Wait,
Now.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Golden Country?
Yeah, so fun surprise I didn't know about. But if you bought the expansion pass,
that's right.
It is out yesterday, which is the 14th time of recording. And if you buy the physical edition, which I did, you have to wait till the 21st. That being said, the physical edition is pretty cool because it's a standalone game. You don't need the base game.
That is true. And also, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm a little.
I understand why.
I mean, no, but at least that way it balances each other out, right? Where,
yeah, it does.
As Ken said, it's a standalone game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna the Golden Country, but with the expansion pass, you needed the whole thing.
Yeah, the one mistake was just on my part that it was one of my review games, and I accidentally hit the physical, so I have to wait an extra week, which is kind of against the point.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough.
So that was my mistake.
Yeah, jeez. Coming out on the 25th, we have quite a few games. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games coming out on the 25th. I have no idea what this is. Dakar 18. What is DAKAR? Dakar. Is that a racing game? It feels like it would be a racing game.
I don't know. With 18 in the title, it's probably some sort of yearly.
You're not wrong,
though.
European
Tyler,
sport.
You're not wrong. It's a racing game.
Is it really?
Yeah,
is it like F1 Formula or something like that? Or
no, it seems like desert-based motocross, dirt bikes, cars, rally cars.
Okay. Like I was gonna guess, like if it was a sport, I feel like I would have known if it was a major sport game. But Dakar, it's like, oh, it could be a racing game that I don't know about. But coming out PC, PS4, Xbox One. Next up is Guyana Sisters. Guyana Sister.
Yeah.
Twisted Dreams.
This is actually a port, and it's a port of a remake. This was an old series. This series started in the 80s.
Is this not the one that was considered a ripoff of Mario?
Yes, it was.
Was that the original joke there?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Game was considered a ripoff. No, well, the original game in the 80s was considered a ripoff of Mario. This is one of the newer games. I actually played it thinking it was going to be a terrible game. I played it for a joke video one time. It turned out to be very solid. So I have nothing bad to say about it. It's actually a pretty good platformer.
And I'm guessing it has themes focused towards fowls and birds, because this one's called the Ultimate Edition, not the Ultimate, the Ultimate.
Okay, all right.
See, coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, this is The Police 2, which I believe I've heard the first game, but I never played it or got into it.
It's a strategy game similar, like top-down view, like XCOM.
Okay. A top-down version, really?
At least that's what I see from the
who's the
no, you say XCOM, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, WP Studio.
Okay, no, all right.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is kind of important to me, but only because I want to play it one day, and I'm glad it's coming out. And it's coming out for something that is connected to a TV, besides PS TV. Valkyria Chronicles 4 coming out PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Nice.
Oh, that is good. Now, I have not played the second or the third one because I believe it came out for PSP.
Yep.
And then maybe was it PSP again or PS Vita?
No, it was. We didn't get one of them. So
one
was
PSP.
One we didn't get. I think we didn't get 3. We got Revolution, which nobody played. So
yeah, and it went from like serious, this is war, we got to fight for Gallia and protect our country, to like happy good time, let's go make romance comedies together. And it's like, oh, I mean, that's what I wanted. A little bit of a change of pace.
But it's like,
It's like World War II, but I'm trying to create a social link romance with Rommel or something like that. And it's like Churchill, be my senpai.
I'd play that.
Me too, actually. It's got to exist out there. There's got to be something like that.
Yep.
Like all the okay, never mind. V Rally. No, because I was like, I'm.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
There's a high school in Japan with all these leaders of World War II, and we got to romance them up.
Oh my god.
V Rally 4 coming out for PC. Gonna take a wild guess and say this is probably also a racing game.
It's another off racing game. You are correct.
Oh man, I am on fire. Man, where is that Bic lighter? Because I feel like it's lighting itself on me. So Pathfinder, which to me screams Dungeons and Dragons vibes there. I mean, Pathfinder is a type.
Yep.
And so Pathfinder Kingmaker instead of Kingslayer, Kingmaker for the PC. So
it's
I'm guessing
isometric party-based computer RPG.
Oh,
based around Baldur's Gate, Fallout 1, Fallout 2,
wonderful.
Arcanum. I was recommended this game, and I realized it was coming out soon, so I put it on the list because it wasn't there originally. But yeah, it releases on the 25th of September. Top-down isometric view. Seems interesting.
Wonderful.
we need to back up here for a second towards the direct thing. I'm sorry to bring us back into the topic of the show. There was a cool RPG-looking game that appeared on the direct, where it was people building, exploring a square-based system. Not Civ, but it was something similar. And I have no idea what the name of the title is, and I didn't see it appear into this direct recap that I'm looking at. And also,
I have a whole list of everything that was shown at the direct. Was it Diablo 3 Eternal?
Oh, yeah, that I don't believe that was the square-based RPG. Oh no, actually, I'm getting ready to describe Diablo 3 and
yeah, you are. Oh, you know what it was? It was one of the Asmodee board games.
Yes, I think it's the ones that after that they announced Catan and Munchkins.
Yep, there's Munchkins. They had Lord of the Rings on there as well.
It might have been Lord of the Rings, actually. I was like, I don't remember what it was, but I got excited for that. Also, Isabel coming up for Smash.
Yep, that
Anyways, so let's screw back over to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'd be interested in something like that.
Me too.
I have multiple people that are trying to rope me into D&D campaigns. And it's like, finally, I can fucking play instead of DMing because I am terrible at that.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to find a group to play with for
IRL
first.
The three of us, Pokemon Purple Paradise. We're gonna play Pokemon D&D.
No, I'm okay.
I'm down.
I'm the opposite, where I've done so many D&D campaigns and the like that I actually don't want to do one right now.
I've never done one, so I wouldn't know idea what's going on.
I'm gonna say, Cam, you say that you don't like being creative, and also we've mentioned before about you and role playing, so I can totally understand. Man.
Oh no, I love playing D&D. I role play there, no problem. It's just a matter of
you now.
It's just a matter of actually I've done too many campaigns, and I'm like, the time commitment though.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, same boat. And it's like, let's do it at 10 p.m. on a Thursday. I'm like, who the hell? I got lives to live. Oh, okay. Anyways, wrap up, plugs, housekeeping. You can email us at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. I didn't check this week, but I'm pretty certain that it didn't, actually come out. Or we didn't get any emails, rather. You can also check us up on Twitter oh gosh, I'm doing all sorts of terrible things with this thing. Okay, anyways, you can check us up on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. We can check out some of the podcasting videos as well as the audio version of that. And some of the gaming I've been personally exporting over from Twitch with my play of Skyward Sword. And one day, just one day, we can dream Nick will put over his Bayonetta gameplay before it gets deleted forever.
I've learned how to save them, and I have one of them on my PC now.
So you downloaded it versus exporting it?
Yes.
I do that.
Okay.
I can do both.
Yes, you can. You have that right.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We are one step forward. It's like teaching a kid how to use the toilet. He's doing it, but he's sitting on it backwards, and he's facing the wall for some reason. True story. Apparently, I did that myself when I was a kid. I apparently thought I was supposed to sit backwards with my ass facing the door or whatnot. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler. All letters, all one word. 2timestyler. And then twitch.tv also at 2timestyler. I stream every Tuesday and Friday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I typically play Zelda games unless I get intoxicated and I make myself play a horror game. One day, I dream of that day. I do want to point out that with my new job coming up, potentially at the end of this month, my schedule might change. But for now, that's what it is. Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at LRWarrior11. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LRWarrior11. I now have a schedule that I have stuck to for the last 2 days.
Yay.
Schedule.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I looked at your schedule and I was like, "Hey, buddy, where you?" Yeah.
So all these following times are in Pacific Standard Time. You can find the schedule on my Twitter. It's pinned to the top of my profile. But I'm just going to quickly go through these times just once. Monday from 4 to 8. Wednesday from 2 to 6. Friday from 9 p.m. to late. And Sunday from 12 to 4.
Okay, so I was about to point out that we all are streaming on Friday. However, me and Cam are just 1-to-1, but then 3 hours later, then Nick would be streaming. Like, I feel like me and Cam would be like, fighting over the sandcastle right now, and then 3 hours later, somebody just kicks it down. It's like, hey, this is my sand park now. Yep. Okay, and Cam, of course, where can we find you and your sweet other show that talks about good news?
We can. So you can find me on Twitter over at CamCollects, and that's my preferred social media. And in terms of Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/CamCollects. I stream Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, and that's Pokemon White 2 Randomized Nuzlocke, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and that's Pokemon Prism Nuzlocke. And I'm going in blind for that one. Very extensive fan game. And if you want to check out my other podcast, you can find it at intothevideogame.com. And that's primarily a game news and industry analysis focused podcast. So different than the more personal stuff that we do on here. And that's all my stuff.
All right. I think that wraps up the show unless we have any wild announcements that we want to talk about right here and now.
I'm all good.
No.
We got things in the works. We also, just for one last thing of housekeeping, we originally wanted to do for the Nick Switch initiative, we talk on the show, like, what are we going to do for the next one? Because it gives people a chance to, look into it and maybe try to figure it out themselves, get excited for it. However, we're also very indecisive, and we don't have an open range like we used to, so we can't just say, oh, we'll do Zelda. Oh, wait, we already did that. Oh, yeah. So we are now going to be talking about it in between the weeks, so it's going to be a surprise for you, just like it's probably going to be for Nick about 10 minutes before the show.
Pretty much.
So we will get into that. I think that's it. I am Tyler. That was Nick. That was Cam. That was episode 19. We're going to hit episode 20, the big 2-0 next week. Guys, get hyped.
Nice.
So that's it. We're going to call it now. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to share it with a friend. It does wonders, actually. The moment you say, check out Casual Master Quest, be cool, because there's cool people out there. Like I want to give like flat out thanks to Flat Cap Gary. We got another cool person like Callow that out there. Like I can't name them all because I'm terrible with names and I'll probably say them wrong anyways. But if you listen to the show and you just even say, hey, thank you, you did a good job. Thank you. Absolutely. 100%. You deserve praise of the highest order.
Yep. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's going to be it. Don't forget to never stop the grind. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.